Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Welcome into the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. It's Friday. Come on, man. Lions play this weekend. Let's get fired up. I got my partner in crime with me, as always, Sam Flannel. Look at Flannel. Is that a new flannel?
It is a new one.
You're looking good.
I appreciate that.
It's a very spiffy flannel.
Had a little bit of a Christmas gathering with the family on December 6th, Wednesday, because my sister who moved to Nashville was in town. So yes, this is one of the gifts, because every single year I just get bombarded with flannels. But you know what? It's the best gift that you can give one flannel, Sam.
It's a Christmas-themed flannel. Yes. I love it. Detroit Kool-Aid, a.k.a. Brandon Den.
Hey, what up, though, brother?
Booth. How you doing, Brandon?
I'm doing good, man. It's a good morning. Doing the show today, Big D Energy with Lindsay. So that's going to be a fun one as well.
It's you and Lindsay?
Yes, sir.
Wow, that's big time.
Yeah, so we're all black so we can bury the Pistons, man.
That's fair. Well, Neil Rule, he'll be on the call tonight, and he told me that his presence, they'll earn a victory.
He's the president.
Just because the president's
his
there, they're going to win.
Elite presence.
That's what he told me.
There you go.
He said, don't worry. He's like, I'll be there tonight. They're winning. I said, okay, Neil. He wouldn't make it a get right, though. He wouldn't make it a get right. But yeah, there you go. Kool-Aid and Lindsay. That'll be a good show. Big D Energy, 11-1. Tune in. We got Ken G, the man, the myth, the legend, hanging out with us as always. And then JB on the ones and twos over there in the TD booth. JB, Ken G, how you guys doing? How you feeling?
Good, man. Can't complain. Real quick, shout out to Easy. I saw what you said in the chat yesterday. I appreciate the love. And shout out to everybody else in the Woodward Sports chat showing the love, too. Big thanks to that. So,
yes. Hey, you were Big D. You were a little bit of a celebrity there.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying to get in where I fit in. You know?
That's all that matters, my man. That's all that matters. JB, how's it going? How's you and Hillary Duff? Talk to me. What's going on with you?
You know, I shot my shot. She hasn't responded back yet, but you know, she hasn't read the text. So
maybe she don't got
it's coming one day. It's coming one day.
She just hasn't gotten it yet, JB.
Yeah,
it's still hope.
Yeah, JB, maybe she don't have service. I don't know.
I know she's busy.
She's busy. And by the way, I know last night I was tuning into the Redwings because I was kind of tuning into both. I was tuning into the Redwings, and then I was tuning into that garbage Thursday night football game because I'm a sicko and I like watching football. It doesn't matter what it is. But I got to say this, and we brought this up yesterday, and I told you this before the show, Sam. We made this thing about a sack a game thing about James Houston. You know who is averaging almost a sack a game at .91 sacks per game? TJ Watt. Like we talked about it yesterday. He's actually doing it.
Yeah.
For his career, he's .91 sacks per game.
Man,
unicorn stuff.
Isn't it funny that J.J. Watt, his big brother, of course, is one of the best defensive players of this generation. I kind of grew up in my late teens, early 20s on J.J. Watt. I was a big fan. Little did I know that maybe his little brother T.J. would come in and have an even better career. I don't know if he's the player that J.J. is, but by the numbers, T.J. Watt is already trending to being an all-time great, and he's certainly... Hell, he could win Defensive Player of the Year this year. He's already had tied the single-season sack record at 22.5. That dude is a first ballot Hall of Famer the day he retires.
Is he Defensive Player of the Year?
I would probably...
It's a close race. I wouldn't hate you for any answer.
You got to consider Myles Garrett. You got to consider Micah Parsons, and I think you got to consider Deron Bland still. But he's in that tier. He's definitely top 3 to 4 right now.
That's fair. Let's see. Who farted? I picked the Patriots to win last night and started both Elliott and the Pats defense in fantasy. You had to know it was coming.
Yeah, Zeke had a good game.
Yeah, he did. And the thing I saw also, speaking of interesting statistics, is the Patriots this season, I don't know if that's changed, but at least when they allow less than 10 points, they're 1-3. And the rest of the NFL is like 59-0.
That's sad.
That is, but Bill O'Brien and that offense is an atrocious. I mean, they looked decent last night with Bailey Zappi, but with Mac Jones, they've been so bad. How are you 1-3 when you allow less than 10 points or 10 or less?
That you have historically bad offense and quarterback play because
that is so bad.
One of the staples of a Bill Belichick team is those defenses, and those defenses, at least lately, have been playing really well. But you can't even You're talking scoring in single digits on a consistent basis. That is the recipe to lose, and for your offensive coordinator to be fired.
Yeah, no.
I mean, Mac Jones is pretty much ruined at this point.
No
Is
question.
it Bailey Zappi's job now is the real question.
Yes.
Did he take it from Mac Jones?
Oh, 100%.
Just for the end of the year, yeah.
100%. In other news, at least locally, Patrick Kane, PK, made his debut for the Red Wings last night.
It's Kane.
They lost, and again, it's always frustrating. But again, the Red Wings have been doing really well this season, even though the Sharks do stink. It's a tough one to lose at home. I will not deny that. But Patrick Kane, you talk about what would be kind of his limitation coming back. I mean, 16 minutes total time on ice, had some minutes in the power play. Play the same amount of minutes as other guys like Fabry or even a Perron, Lucas Raymond. I mean, he's out there for 16 minutes. And this is a guy that I think, if you want to question anything having to do with his health, one thing you cannot question with Patrick Kane, although he didn't get a point last night, is his IQ, man. Like, the dude's he's been around for a while. It was nice to see him out there. And it's one game. He took a couple shots. Just to see him out there was nice, but give it some time. Give it some time. He looked good.
I mean, he's one of the best hockey players of all time, and I think he's the best American-born hockey player of all time. He's a 3-time champion, a 1-time MVP, and he still has a playoff MVP at one point. He certainly has a little bit left in the tank. I think he could still provide them with a spark to end the year. I'm talking about the Red Wings, but that was such a bad loss. It's the terrible Sharks at home and you blow a 4-goal lead. That's
at least
bad.
It's an overtime loss.
You get a point out of that, but you want to pocket 2 points at home against the Sharks because you never know when you're going to need them as the season goes along. I was talking about it one of the days this week that you want the Red Wings while they're on this streak to just keep pocketing points, pocketing wins, getting wins at home against bad teams because you never know when you're going to have to maybe go on the West Coast and you're going to go in a little bit of a slump. I still think this is a playoff team, but if there's any question about a seed or even them getting in at the end of the year, the Red Wings are going to remember this game as one that got away. I know it's only 1 point, but you know how it is at the end of the year. 1 point could be the difference between in and not in, a 5 seed, a 4 seed. You just never know.
And this comment, too, I want to address because Hoofharded is correct. The Sharks don't stink right now. They are on a heater.
That's fair.
Record-wise, they do stink, but he is right. They're 5-2 over the last 7.
That's fair.
So they're playing well, but regardless, at home, like you said, Sam, it's just one of those games you let get away. The Wings are still one of the better teams in their own conference, and it's exciting, man. It really is. It was nice to see Larkin, too. I mean, he's since returning, and God bless him for everything he's had to go through. But, again, another goal. So shout out to Dylan Larkin for that.
Yep.
Doesn't slow him down.
He's one of the preeminent figures in Detroit sports right now. I think he's going to be one of those guys that retires as just an all-time Red Wing. I really believe that if they end up winning maybe a cup or so under the Steve Yzerman regime, I think that Dylan Larkin is a guy who could end up being in the Hall of Fame and could end up being one of those guys that's revered by the Red Wings because he's been here a long time and endured a lot of losing and has played well. But if he can continue to up his play like he's done this year and the Red Wings actually win and he experiences some playoff success, the sky's the limit for this team and for Dylan Larkin as kind of an icon in Detroit.
No question. And I see people talking about it right now, talking about Patrick Kane. And Husso as well, Hoofharded. Husso has gone full net. Oh, well, at least the Wings have one answer in goal with Leiden. That's one more than last season. Yes, Hoofharded. That is correct.
Never want to be compared to Ned at this
No,
point.
you do not. No, you do not. Hoofharded also says the Wings are good enough to not worry about 1 point at the end of the season. They are comfortably a playoff team.
That's fair.
Jordan says, I don't know how many posts we hit that game, but man, yeah, dude, a ton of them. A ton of shots were close, especially Patrick Kane.
Yeah.
He came close a couple of times. That's why I'm not too worried about him moving forward. Mike G says, blowing a 4-0 lead makes me sick. Yeah. And it is what it is. Jordan says, with Kenny, JB, and D-Mac, Woodward Sports needs a pro wrestling show.
I'm with that.
Facts.
I'm absolutely with that.
The boys, they could cook. I wouldn't deny you guys. Jason says, Husso has given up 3+ goals at home in 14 straight games. That is crazy.
He was
3+ goals at home in 14 straight games.
He was good last year. This year, not so much.
No, I did not even know that. Well, I knew it was bad, but I didn't know it was that bad.
That's such a damning stat.
All right, let's that's a damning stat. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get into kind of the Lions and Bears game and some of our must-dos for the Lions, our breakdowns of the game, our breakdown of the game, and kind of what do we expect the Lions to do? What they must do in order to come out of Chicago with a victory. Later in the show, at 8:30 specifically, I do want to go through some of what Aaron Glenn said yesterday. We have the clip of one question in particular. But Aaron Glenn had a couple interesting comments yesterday, and it's kind of been in response to a lot of the discussions we've been having, and I think a lot of discussions fans have been having, just about AG and his adjustments or lack thereof. He kind of commented on that, and man, he stood on business, and we're gonna talk about that at 8:30. 8:45, we'll go through which player offensively, defensively needs to step up the most, and then at 9 o'clock, Micro Mike is joining the show to help us preview this game this weekend. Again, the second half of the show, the second hour, we'll be going around the NFL, giving our pick'ems, of course, our game predictions, and then the usual. What's trending with JB Smoove and mailbag. But right now, we got to hear about our friends from Lady Jane's, Sam Flannel.
Of course, Lady Jane's, where I get my A+ haircuts from the A+ stylist. I should probably get one pretty soon, although I kind of like it long and the wife likes it a little long. But if I need to get it cut, I'll go to Lady Jane's. And you can come to Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men for an award-winning haircut experience. Register to win a trip of your dreams and all expenses paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament. That's right, no expense spared for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men, open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Wicked!
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
We've just received word. The world's cannabis supply has vanished. The public is outraged and has taken to the streets in response to this tragedy. The individual responsible acted alone, and we can only hope they will make things right soon.
Oh, man. Let me tell you about Les Stanford. What happens when you run a great business for over 50 years? You expand it out for more products to more people. This is exactly what Les Stanford has been doing by adding Les Stanford Buick GMC, the same great service that customers have come to know and trust on Woodward Avenue, just south of 9 Mile. Check out Les Stanford in Dearborn today. Find the brand you want at lesstanford.com. It's always funny. Ken G just found out that commercial features me, and I'm sorry. I had to unplug the cannabis supply.
Are you responsible for the cannabis going missing?
I guess so, but I guess I'm responsible for it returning as well.
Okay.
I just plugged it back in. That's all I did.
You're basically like Trevor Lawrence's one playoff win, right?
Oh man!
Actually, that's a great comparison. Yeah. I threw 4 picks. I came back to win. See, Lucas would say that's a hell of a performance. That's a hell
Shout
of
out
a
to
That's
Lucas.
when I knew.
Yeah, shout out to Lucas. Jordan Schaefer says, once Hollywood Jeff is on ESPN or Fox Sports, will the dispo ad haunt him? I hope not. I really do. I hope not, Jordan. I don't. Funky says, Aleem got hurt because Hutch fell into his knee. It had nothing to do with his usage. Why must this fan base make shit up? Is that what people are saying? I don't know. We'll get into that at 8:30 because Funky, I can't wait to talk about this defense because I want you guys to hear Aaron Glenn. If you haven't watched it already, please go watch it because you'll get context on what kind of he talked about yesterday to the media. But right now I want to ask the question, how can the Detroit Lions win this football game? It's very simple. How do you see it playing out? And for me, Sam, the Chicago Bears coming off a bye week, very familiar with the Detroit Lions, of course. I mean, Eberflus, Fields is. We saw what happened at Ford Field. They looked good for 3 quarters. And then the Lions in the fourth quarter, especially late, and even before halftime, the Lions, their offense found ways, and they found a way to win the football game. Now, the Bears are going to be pissed off, and they're at home. And I went and looked up the weather because I was curious. In Chicago, and this is just just a general weather. I don't know if this changes, but as of right now, it's just 37 degrees Fahrenheit, and again, 66% humidity. It's not supposed to rain, but the wind's 12 miles per hour. So to me, this is a game that if you're going to win it, it's going to be on the shoulders of Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery in that offensive line. Now, Frank Ragnow's hurt. There is a concern there, but Graham Glasgow, what he's shown is he can slide in and play center right away and play pretty damn well. You got Colby Sorsdahl, which, could be the reason the Lions lose, according to Neil Rule. But I think Colby, with the experience he's kind of shown, he struggled. But I have hope for Colby this week. I do. Montez Sweat is a problem.
Yeah.
And, it's interesting because I watched Eberflus's press conference, and he talked about, Montez Sweat and kind of what he does for their defense. And he mentioned how, or actually a reporter mentioned how they're blitzing less, but they're getting more pressure. Which helps. Chicago Bears had one of the worst defensive lines to get Montez Sweat. Now they can do these things. This Chicago Bears team is playing better. They're coming off a pretty, I would say, I don't know about a big win, but a divisional win. It is what it is. The offense didn't look great. Sam Flannel, this game to me it can go down in a couple different ways, but this is the must-dos. Number one, for Jared Goff, it's very obvious. You can't turn the ball over. We do this every single week, especially with how the defense is playing. You just can't do it. They didn't do it against the Saints. They won the football game on the road. It's going to have to be a similar kind of outcome here. No turnovers. And that isn't just for Jared Goff. That goes for the rest of the Detroit Lions as well offensively, because there has been turnovers, and it hasn't all been because of Jared Goff this season. We know that. The other thing is the run game. The Chicago Bears have one of the best run defenses. They did when you faced them last time. And if you go down quickly, or you get down and you're already down a 10-point deficit early on in the game, it makes it hard, and the Lions have shown against the Packers that they can't run the football, which is something they want to do. So, again, they got to run the football this week. There's not going to be a bomb to JMO with 12-mile-per-hour winds. I don't think so. To me, this is an Amon-Ra St. Brown game, because the short intermediate game, this is where he's going to flourish. Sam Laporta, these type of guys. So they're going to run the football. They have to. And the other thing for this defense, and they did it last week again, and they've shown they could do it against Justin Fields, is the defense got to create turnovers.
Sure.
That's been the storyline. Last season when the Lions were 8-2, the defense didn't have a ton of talent, but guess what? They were creating turnovers. That was Kirby Joseph was. So that was the difference. Aiden Hutchinson was, by the way, last year, which is crazy to think about. Had a couple interceptions, especially down the stretch. That's the difference. You got to create turnovers. And if the Lions defense can do that, bend, don't break, they don't have to, hold the Bears to 3 points. We know what this defense is. We accept it. They got to create turnovers. And offensively, they got to control the line of scrimmage with the run game. If they can do that, because I'm not even going to get into containing Justin Fields, because, Sam, it's hard to do that. You could say it every single time you play the Bears, contain Justin Fields, contain Justin Fields. He's going to get 70, 90 yards on Sunday. It is what it is. But if they can create turnovers, that's how you're going to win this football game defensively. And then offensively, David Montgomery, Jahmyr Gibbs, Amon-Ra St. Brown, big game for those guys. Have to.
Yes, and I'm going to expound on a couple of things you said one by one, because I think they're very, very key. You talk about turnovers, and you talk about Jared Goff limiting his, or maybe playing mistake-free football, because the Bears, it wasn't just in the Lions game where they got a ton of interceptions. They got 3 against the Bears and then 4 against the Vikings and Josh Dobbs. So in the Bears' last 2 games, they have 7 combined interceptions, and they actually lost one of those games, which is crazy, by the way. You should definitely go 2-0 when you have 7 interceptions in 2 games, but still, the Bears have been turning the football, turning other teams over at a pretty high rate, at least in the last couple of games. But the good news is, when you last saw the Lions on the field, Jared Goff did play good, clean football, and that's all they really needed from him, especially given the fact that the Lions were the one that forced some turnovers. I think they were more unforced errors by the Saints, but still, when you can turn the football over, when you can give your team 2 short field touchdowns, you're probably going to win, and that is exactly what the Lions did. And if they win the turnover battle, I have no doubt in my mind that they'll win this game, because they already beat the Bears when they lost the turnover battle by a pretty significant margin. But also, you talk about the running game and the Lions. That's kind of how I would also say that's how they're going to win this game. They're going to control the clock. They're going to run the football. The Bears actually, though, believe it or not, they are tied with the 49ers for the best run defense in the NFL by the numbers, at least when it comes to rushing yards allowed per game. But this season, the Bears are allowing 79 rushing yards per game. That is very, very good. But in their last game against the Lions, they gave up 115 to the Lions on 5.2 yards per carry, including a rushing touchdown by both Jahmyr Gibbs and David Montgomery. So the Bears were still able to run the football against this vaunted Bears rushing defense. I'm not saying it's bad or anything like that, but I do think they've merchanted a lot of good games off of bad rushing offenses, and the Lions certainly aren't one of them. So I don't think the Lions running the football will be a big... I think they'll be able to run it pretty effectively. But when you also look at something the Bears do well as well, which it kind of seems like old school football. They run the ball well and they stop the run well, and that also includes running the football well. And in that last matchup against the Lions, against their rushing offense and the Lions' still very good running defense, the Bears kind of got the better of them, but it was pretty much all off the back of Justin Fields, who had his only 100-yard rushing game of the season against the Lions. And it was definitely something that caused a lot of problems, particularly at the end of the game when it looked like they may have salted that one away. He ran for 104 yards on 5.8 yards per carry. So in that aspect, the Bears did win the battle in terms of their rushing offense versus the Lions' rushing defense. But as I always say, the Lions still got the win, and one of the reasons is because the Bears... they're a strange team. They do some things either really well or really poorly, and the Bears do have a bottom 10 pass defense when it comes to passing yards allowed per game. And even though they intercepted Goff 3 times, they also allowed that offense to go right up and down the field 2 times at the end of the game to take the lead and then ultimately win.
Right.
So I guess the main takeaway is kind of the same as you. Win the turnover battle, run the football, try to at least a little bit contain Justin Fields on the ground, and certainly another thing, do not let Justin Fields beat you with his arm as well. That's an obvious one.
And Sam, that is key.
Yeah.
Not letting him beat you with his arm, because Detroit Steve, when Fields rushes for over 100 yards, he's 0-5. And I believe I saw that stat as well, Steve, and that's a great point. Thank you for reminding me for that, because again, if they're going to beat you, it's going to be with Justin Fields' arm. This comment as well, talking about the Bears turning the football over, because Jalen Johnson, they've been doing a good job turning the football over, but here's the thing. Jordan says the Bears have scored 6 points off those 7 interceptions.
That's insane, by the way.
So think about if you just didn't turn the ball over and you made the Bears go down the field on you. You know, like, hey, if you're going to get a touchdown, you have to earn it. And you're giving these guys short fields, and they still can't score. So, again, you look at the game at Ford Field. Yeah, Jared Goff turned the football over. You know, the Lions turned the football over. Still couldn't beat the Lions. Offensively, they came in and they scored late. If you just don't turn the football over, like you said, they were able to run the football. They just couldn't because they were down.
Yeah.
Dave Montgomery, who had like 12 for 80 or something like that, 12 for 70 something. And then Jahmyr had like 8 for 40, whatever it was. They can do it. Even without Frank Ragnow, that isn't a concern of mine. That's probably one of the bigger question marks. But to me, it's up to Taylor Decker, because you're going to have Decker and Panay on a Montez Sweat, depending on where they move him. I believe Montez typically stays on one side of the defensive line. So Taylor Decker, how he played against Rashawn Gary, cannot happen.
No.
You can't let Montez Sweat wreck this game, man. If there's going to be somebody, it's him.
Yeah, because Montez Sweat, if you let him wreck the game, he will oblige and do so, especially since the Bears, I mean, I'm not saying that the Bears really feel like they have any hope on this season, but they probably feel like they let one slip away, and they probably feel like if we can get this one against the Lions, maybe at the very worst we could spoil some more seasons. We could maybe even sneak into the graphic if they can go on a little bit of a hot streak. I don't necessarily think it's going to happen, but we shall certainly see. And another thing I keep seeing in the chat is about Frank Ragnow and how that could affect the Lions' run game, and that is absolutely true. But even without Frank Ragnow, I believe talent-wise and production-wise, even though it's been behind this offensive line, they do have the best backfield in the NFL, and they're both healthy, and they're both playing well every single game. So I don't expect the Bears to stop the Lions' rush offense. It may not average 5.2 yards per carry like the last time they played each other, but it's going to be effective. I have no doubt about that. And I want to respond to one more thing about the points off of turnovers. Yes. In the last 2 games in which the Bears have intercepted 7 passes, they've only gotten 6 points off of that. But the Bears also got 7 points off of a Craig Reynolds fumble on a kickoff return. So that still hurt them in some aspect. And I will say this too: if you're Craig Reynolds, just take a knee and take the touchback from now on, please. Is there any use to really returning kicks anymore? Like, I'm not trying to be that funny person, but for real.
Unless you're...
What did that do?
Yeah, that's the thing. It's not just Jared. Yes, he's turned the football over, but it's all for just all players, special teams included.
Yes.
Is this... I want your opinion on this. Is this off base to say that I think the loss... Because, again, the loss of Malik McNeil right now and the loss of Frank, they're both significant. I'm more concerned about the loss of Aleem McNeil. Is that fair? Because of the drop-off after Aleem McNeil. Like, Frank is, and I argue, remember we had this argument, I believe Frank was the second best center in the NFL. You and Lucas went with Creed Humphrey. We had an argument. So I love Frank. But I just think without Frank, you still got a Graham, you still got a Jonah, you still got a Taylor Decker, you still got a Penei Sewell. But without Aleem McNeil, like, Josh Pascal is supposed to be playing more on the inside. So maybe a big game from him. But I'm more concerned about Aleem.
Well, I would agree with you on that. And for the record, you were right. Frank Ragnow's better than Creed Humphrey. I've already given you those flowers,
okay.
but yes, Frank Ragnow is better than
But
Creed
is
Humphrey.
that it sounds weird to say that because Frank's a better player, but you get where I'm coming from with that statement?
Well, but this year, has he even been a better player? We look at Frank Ragnow as a former All-Pro, a perennial Pro Bowler, and we look at Aleem McNeil as somebody who's kind of been a rotational
No, Frank's
piece.
been the better player.
Sure,
but the drop-off I'm talking about.
Well, but like my point is that Aleem McNeil actually has been elite at times this year. And,
Yes.
and this defense, it is the weaker unit. And if Aleem McNeil is out, we're talking about things like, oh my God, I hope we get a legacy game from Levi Onwuzurike. You know what I mean? If we're talking about the Lions offensive line, you're still like, okay, they still have Penei, they still have Jonah Jackson, they still have Taylor Decker, and they still have Graham Glasgow. But when we're looking at Aleem McNeil, it's like this defense has already had some issues, especially getting pass rush. You take away the guy who's second on the team in sacks, and then you're like, please, Broderick Martin, please develop. Please, Quinn and Bohanna. Please, Benito Jones. And you're like, ooh, that is not a good position to be in.
Yeah, it's going to have to be productivity by a group effort. Like, you're going to need Bohanna. You're going to need Benito. You're going to need Josh Pascal. I don't think you'll see Broderick, but you're going to need guys to step up. It's as simple as that. A Bruce Irvin on the edge.
Yeah.
Can Bruce Irvin get another sack? Hey, speaking of sack a game, his Lions career this season, let's see a sack a game from Bruce Irvin, potentially. Let's see. He's supposed to get more run this week. Brian Root says McNeil's a top-rated D lineman on our team and top of the league. So, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just think the loss of Aleem is concerning. I'm curious who steps up, though. I am. Let's go to break. Speaking of that, and when we come back, we'll talk about the defense. I'm going to play you guys a clip of Aaron Glenn speaking to the media yesterday. If you've seen it, then cool. You know what I'm talking about. If you haven't, then you're going to see it. And I want you guys to kind of react to it and give your honest thoughts if Aaron Glenn was a little out of line or he was making sense. I do. I want your guys' opinion on that, and I'll go and read as many comments as I can. We'll get everyone in the room's opinion as well. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Dispo.
Of course. Experience Dispo Romeo, a team that curates an exclusive atmosphere mixed with fresh inventory for Michigan's largest variety of products. The first ever cannabis mall of its kind is conveniently located off of Van Dyke and 32 Mile Road in Romeo. Dispo Romeo is now open late night until midnight every day except Sunday. Can it get any better than that? Dispo Dispensary, DispoShops.com, your local cannabis plug.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, two of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports' own Jeff Iafrate, along with special WSN guests for the most anticipated Lions season in decades. Filled with different surprises and expert analysis. You're not going to want to miss out. Go to our Woodward Sports YouTube channel on Sundays and tune in live from 9:30 to 11:30 a.m.
Winter is here, and if you're dreaming of a new home but feeling the pinch, we've got some fantastic news for you. Mark White & Associates, your trusted real estate experts, are here to help. Here's the deal. When you work with a Mark White & Associates realtor, they'll pay up to $5,000 of your closing costs. Wow. That's right. Buying a home just got a whole lot easier. Imagine having an extra $5,000 in your pocket this winter. With years of experience and commitment to making your dreams a reality, Mark White & Associates are your go-to team for all things real estate. This incredible opportunity won't last forever. Call Mark White & Associates today at 248-290-8242 and let them make your winter home buying dreams come true. Visit their website, markwhitesales.com, or call them at 248-290-8242 to hear the full terms of this offer and begin your home search today.
The key to unlocking a little bit better start to the second halves.
I think that's really funny that that's always the buzzword of adjustments. And I kind of laugh at it because it just shows that how people just don't have a clue. I mean, we're winning and we're doing a really good job. And what are you changing?
I think it's a counter to, I mean, they're probably adjusting, right? And so.
And you have to see if they're going to adjust.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they made plays, you know, and we didn't make plays we should have made. When you have key plays in a game that's causing some issues, to me, that's where you try to make sure you make those adjustments. And sometimes you make them on the sideline, sometimes you make them at halftime. But in a game, man, there's always adjustments that's being made. Because every team is not just going to come out and do the things that they've shown on tape. They're always going to have something new. So our job as coaches to make sure that whatever those new things they come out with, man, we adjust to make sure we put our guys in position to make those plays. And it happens all the time. So we'll continue to do that. But that's a thing that's an emphasis that we've been offensively and defensively we've been going over for a while. Even in the off season, we talk about those things, and man, we have to get better at that if we want to be the team we want to be. So you're right in that aspect of making sure that, man, we just come out the same way we come out in the first half with energy, effort, and doing those things. I think it's more of that than anything else.
Credit to the Detroit Lions for that footage there. That was the AG press conference from yesterday. He spoke to the media. That was just a clip of it. Spoke a lot about, buzzwords like adjustments. But hey, we're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show. Our entire crew is here. Sam Flannel, Detroit Kool-Aid, Kenji, JB, Jeff Iafrate. I want your guys' reaction to kind of what he said. Does he make sense? Was it out of line? I know, I'm good at reading people to some extent. And a part of me, Sam Flannel, believes, and I know, and every coach knows, typically, he knows what people are talking about. He knows that people are talking about his job. Like, the way he was responding to some of these questions, it was a little hostile, which, again, AG's been very upfront with the media, but something about the tone in which he said a lot of these things, it seems like it's a lot of frustration. I don't have the clip, but he talked about later in the same press conference how last year to this year, the defense has improved. So he tried to kind of sell himself. He's like, well, the defense has improved. Players are getting better. Alex Anzalone's having a career year. He believes Hutch is having, hey, to your credit, Hutch is having a damn good year despite not getting sacks. But the whole clip there with AG, I mean, I get it. I do, because the buzzword adjustments. I believe AG is consistently trying to make adjustments, but people are frustrated, AG, and I don't think the correct response there is, well, we're 9-3. That is the thing I don't like, because I understand you're 9-3. We understand that. You're 9-3. You're one of the better teams in the NFC. But you should always be trying to get better, and there should be no hiding behind a 9-3 record, even though it is impressive. The Eagles, we could all admit they have a suspect secondary, but I haven't watched the defensive coordinator for the Eagles' press conference, but I can't imagine him being like, well, we're 10-2. Like, no, dude, you're getting torched. Like, what's the problem? Well, we're 10-2. Like, so, again, I didn't like how he kind of hid behind the record. I don't like that. I'm in the same camp as I've always been. I don't believe AG should be fired right now. It makes no sense. And a lot of the defense this year, I believe, part of it's on AG, part of it's on personnel. Part of it is every DC improves given you have more talent. That's just how this works. But I didn't like some of the things he said, though. I did not. At least how he said it, Sam Flannel. I'll admit that.
It depends on the context, because, of course, AG, I think he knows deep down that he needs to be better. I think that the Lions' defense has to be better. And I think if the Lions' defense continues to be as leaky as they have been at times, that their time in the playoffs is going to be short. I will just say that. But I think Aaron Glenn has the right to I don't want to even say defend himself, but kind of parade the record for one reason. Because some Lions fans are truly saying that, and you see it in game when you go on Twitter or X, and you see it in the comments section all the time in these shows. On our show, Big D Energy, E&E, Woodward Knights, Woodward Heavyweights, people are saying fire Aaron Glenn. And that's where I'm kind of like, he's probably just like, wait a minute, this team is 9-3, and let me just bring this up as well. I'm kind of going to morph into Easy right now and do a little bit of defending the Glenn at this point. Now I kind of see why he was so frustrated for so long. Because think about this. The Lions just came off of a game in which they won without Alex Anzalone, and people still want to bitch. They want to bitch after they beat the Bears, even though the Lions defense actually played pretty well, and it was more the fault of the turnovers that led to points. And here's the thing as well. This is a defense that has never been played the way that it was designed to be played, and I cannot stress this enough. James Houston, Emmanuel Mosley, and CJ Gardner-Johnson have been nothings for this team this year. It's not their fault. It's because of injury, but you have to take that into consideration, of course. And then moving forward, the Lions are going to be without Aleem McNeil, and that's obviously going to hurt. I'm not saying that Aaron Glenn has been perfect. He certainly has not been, but it hasn't all been his fault. I mean, imagine if you're Aaron Glenn. I'm going to go back to the Seattle Seahawks game, for example, because over the totality of the season, the Lions defense has been better than it was last year, particularly against the run and particularly against yards allowed per game, but they still get clowned all the time. People just excoriated this defense against the Seattle Seahawks. Did Aaron Glenn throw the pick six, or did Jared Goff? Did Aaron Glenn fumble the football at his own 22, or did David Montgomery? Did Aaron Glenn decide to go for it on fourth down in his own territory and not get it, or was that Dan Campbell? All I'm saying is, in that game in particular, it may look like the defense was terrible, but a lot of it was the offense putting them in bad situations. I mean, did Aaron Glenn throw 3 interceptions, or did Jared Goff? Against the Bears? Jared Goff. Did Aaron Glenn fumble the football 3 times against the Packers, including 1 return for a touchdown, or did Aaron Glenn? No, it was Jared Goff. And think about this as well. In 2 of the Lions' wins, they gave up less than 10 points. And in another one of those games, they gave up less than 10 offensive points against the Raiders. But again, did Aaron Glenn throw the pick 6, or did Jared Goff? It was obviously Jared Goff. I'm just saying, be a little bit fair. Has this defense been perfect? No. Is it a championship level defense? Absolutely not. But I don't want to put too mumuch of this on Aaron Glenn. That's why I think he was so testy, because people are saying, oh my God, fire Aaron Glenn off of a 9-3 team, off of a defense that has improved and is missing a lot of its key players. That's all I'm saying.
Sam, are you bilingual?
What are we talking about?
I didn't know you could speak facts.
Let's go.
That's all I was asking. Are you bilingual?
Let's go.
I agree with a lot of the things you just said, but I will play devil's advocate now, because people in the chat are chiming in, and I want to get to some of these things. Because I think both things can be true. Aaron Glenn should not be fired. And the other thing you could say is, well, what about Brian Flores? And other DCs that have less talent, or arguably equal talent to work with, and their defenses are playing much better, which I think is fair. But here's my counterpoint to that. The Lions defense is much younger, and the guys that they are missing, a veteran presence like a Alex Anzalone, they missed last week, a veteran presence like a CJ Gardner-Johnson, which they haven't had mostly all season, another dynamic edge rusher, or a young, soon-to-be dynamic edge rusher, at least I would hope. James Houston has not been there all season. So some of their better players on defense have not been there. And Emmanuel Mosley, who you expected to come in and be CB2 next to Cam Sutton, he has not been there. He came back right away and injured his other ACL. So there is a lot of context. It's not just missing Anzalone, Sam. I agree with a lot of what you're saying. But people have to understand that a lot of this, how defense, you can make all the adjustments you want. You still got to win one-on-ones. These guys still have to do their job. They still got to do their job. And with the talent that the Lions currently have on defense, although you like some of the pieces they have, to me, Sam, they just don't have enough to be a top 5 defense or top 10 defense. Although the run defense has improved. Remember last year they were getting gashed, against opposing running backs. You watch that Carolina game, they haven't done that this year, and it's pretty much the same guys on the defensive line. So that I give credit to AG for. You have to.
Well, and here's the thing, and I said this to you before the show, and I think this is very, very apropos. If the Lions were losing, if they were a 5-7 team and this defense was playing like it is now, I would probably be just as mad at Aaron Glenn as everybody else. But the reality of the situation is the Lions are winning. The Lions defense oftentimes is doing just enough for them to win. And in some of the games this year, albeit against guys like Desmond Ridder and Baker Mayfield and Jimmy Garoppolo, the defense has been one of the driving forces as to them winning. So that's all I'm saying, is that sometimes you're going to give up some points after you've already gotten a big lead. I mean, I get that they gave, for example, they gave up 24 points to the Carolina Panthers, but those are some of the most meaningless points of all time. Against the New Orleans Saints, they were able to get up on a 21-0 lead, and they were able to hold on. And oh, by the way, was it Aaron Glenn's fault that Brian Branch tipped the ball away from a Jerry Jacobs pick that went right into the hands of Chris Olave?
It's a great point.
And I'm not saying Aaron Glenn is perfect. I'm just saying this is a 9-3 football team, and this defense is better than it was last year, albeit not great, and they have been very, very injured. We almost forget that Emmanuel Mosley and C.J. Gardner-Johnson and James Houston were supposed to be big parts of this team. I think actually people forget that at this point. I don't blame you guys because they have not been a part of this team like in any real capacity, except Houston and C.J. Gardner-Johnson at the very beginning. But still, that has to be taken into consideration, and they are still winning. Let's see how this season plays out. Maybe I'll be singing the same tune if the defense costs them some more games down the road. But I think moving forward, the big challenge for Aaron Glenn and this defense is play just well enough so that they don't cost the teams wins because of their defense. I think that they can do that. But that's what I'm looking to see as the season goes along.
Yeah, would you like to see AG get a little creative sometimes?
Sure.
Yeah, move Hutch around. Like, I get all of that. Like, you want to stand Hutch up, move him around, all that stuff. I get all that. But to say, that this is defense, that firing AG would fix all your problems, I just don't agree with it. JB, what do you think about the whole AG stuff and what he said at the press conference?
I mean, I get it. I know he's frustrated, and I can see that everyone sits here and is talking about him week in and week out. Hell, he's probably getting asked the same question in these pressers all the time, and he's just frustrated right now. I see the point that he was trying to make, but you can't say it comes off like, hey, we're just winning. We're winning. What does it matter what the defense is doing? And that's the point where both things can be true. Yes, we're happy with the Lions' success and how they played these past couple weeks, but also we can still criticize about how they need to get better, how we see this team going far in the playoffs when we've waited so long for this to actually happen that, hey, we just want to see improvements. We want to know that on the sidelines, you're actually taking that time and saying, hey, we need to adjust. We need to change this. We need to do this. No one's telling you to sit there and go in the locker room at halftime and change your whole defensive scheme. We're just saying, hey, make slight adjustments. Let us know that, hey, this is going to get better. This is going to get corrected the next play, the next quarter. Like, just let us know that something is going to change. Not just, hey, this is the scheme I put out there. We're running it. I mean, we're winning. What else you want me to say?
Yeah, that's the only thing, JB, and I agree with you. Although I've for the most part, kind of had AG's back to some extent because I do think he deserves criticism. I just don't think people. I disagree with, hey, it's all AG's fault. Fire him. That's where I disagree with, because if you look at what Brad Holmes has done, Brad Holmes building this offense has been spectacular. He's added a ton of talented players in the offseason as well. This defense has kind of just been he's been just trying to kind of spice up this defense just last offseason. You just got a Cam Sutton. You just got an Emmanuel Mosley who's not playing. You just got a C.J. Gardner-Johnson. Give Brad one more offseason, man, to just bolster up this defense. They need more help on the defensive line. They need more help in the secondary, specifically at corner. Like, those are things that I think Brad will have to correct. And in the next year, if this defense is still not playing well and you got better players, then we can have a conversation. I'm cool with it. I don't think AG's absolved, but I'm with you, Sam. I think the whole, find someone to blame. It's AG. It can get out of hand sometimes. I do. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll get into who needs to step up offensively and defensively. One player on each side of the ball. I'll go around the room. We'll get all our answers. Start putting yours in the chat now. I'll try to read as many as I can. Speaking of defenses, though, I know a defense is always reliable, Sam Flannel.
Guardian Alarm, of course. And you can let Guardian Alarm offer you customized solutions from real experts. Our professional technicians take the time to recommend security and automation solutions specific to your needs. 24/7 professional monitoring. Call us anytime, day or night, and know that a Guardian team member will stay on the phone as long as needed. Technology backed by people. Your safety and security deserves technology that's been proven to work and people have been proven to care. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Stay out.
That's 1-800-STAY-OUT. Guardian Alarm, your local security experts.
Oh, yeah. Nothing. G-G-G-G-A. Oh, sorry. I forgot. There we go. Oh, cheers, buddy. I think we need to get you a pick.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions Show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
At work and at home, we're there with smarter security solutions. Featuring complete automation with customized alerts and more. For over 90 years, we've been the company that's been counted on to protect what matters most, all with personalized service and care. Right now, for a limited time, receive a free video device plus free installation with a new home system. Guardian Alarm. We protect Michigan.
For over 60 years, Fairway Packing Co. has provided Michigan's finest restaurants, hotels, and casinos with prime beef, Wagyu beef, and dry aged beef. Experience the Fairway difference for yourself today. Visit the steak shop, or you can order online at fairwaypacking.com. We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network, previewing Lions-Bears on Sunday. And we do this every Friday where I ask the question, which player offensively and defensively needs to step up the most? And I like doing this because we like to recap it Monday and see if it comes to fruition. And my player offensively this week, it's a player that's going to earn another start, especially without Frank Ragnow. That's going to be Colby Sorsdahl. I think he's the guy that needs to step up because, like I said earlier, it ties into one of my keys to victory, which is they're going to run the football. They're going to control time of possession, limit turnovers, but a lot of that is establishing the run, establishing play action. Jared Goff's comfortable in play action. But Colby Sorsdahl, he's got to play better. There is no question. That's where I agree with Neil. Now, is he going to be the single reason you lose? No. But Colby, I think, is probably he's the odd one out on the offensive line right now. It's just true. I have trust in Graham. I have trust in Jonah. I have trust in Taylor. Although, hey, he had a bad game against Rashawn Gary. It is what it is. And I have trust in Penei Sewell. Colby Sorsdahl is kind of going to be under the spotlight for me this week because he's filling in. He's probably going to play right guard. And this is a guy you took late in the draft, but a guy that Brad believed can play multiple positions. He played multiple positions in college as well. So I'm going to go with Sorsdahl, man. He's got to play better. He's got to step up, especially if they're going to run the football, pass pro for Jared Goff. This Bears defense, they want to get after the quarterback. They do, and they have enough guys on at least the front four. They can do that without completely blitzing. So I'm going to go with Colby on offense.
Colby on offense, that's an interesting one. I'm going to go a very, very different route, which kind of shows you how wide of a spectrum it can be and how wide open this question is and open-ended. I'm going to go with Amon-Ra St. Brown, of all people, somebody who actually is a star, where Colby Sorsdahl is kind of a struggling rookie at this point. Yep. It's for a different reason. Amon-Ra St. Brown, last game, he did catch a touchdown. He obviously was very, very impactful, but he had his worst receiving output of the season so far. Not that it matters. And catching two passes for 49 yards and a touchdown touchdown is a damn good game for most. But I think this is the game where he kind of breaks out. I mean, obviously he's already broken out, but last game it was kind of Sam Laporta's turn to start. I think it goes back to Amon-Ra St. Brown. Jared Goff playing in the cold, playing outside. I think he's going to rely on his safety blanket. And I'm not saying that to be like a dick or anything like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown is a great wide receiver, but Jared Goff and Amon-Ra St. Brown have that connection, and I think he's going to, and I think Jared Goff, there's going to be some times in this game where it's going to be close, where he's going to have to make some big throws, and Amon-Ra St. Brown is the one that he trusts. I expect a 100-yard game from Amon-Ra St. Brown this week, and especially down the stretch when the Lions need big plays to maybe kick a go-ahead field goal or something like that. Amon-Ra St. Brown will be the one that Jared Goff targets on like a 3rd and 6 and maybe hits him.
Amon-Ra St. Brown, another 100-yard game would put him on pace for what?
1,400. More than 1,400.
Interesting. As if someone could have predicted that before the season. Interesting. 1,400 yards for Amon-Ra St. Brown. It's still doable, and he missed a game. So, hey, Amon-Ra, I actually love that one. I almost picked Amon-Ra because he's coming off one of his worst games this season.
Right.
You know, Sam Laporta was the show last week, but that's a great one, Sam Flannel. I want to go to you, JB. I'll get around the room. Name a player offensively who's got to step up, JB.
Ooh, offensively, I really like Flannel's pick of Amon-Ra, but I'm going to have to go with the combination of Amon-Ra and J-Mo. I think this is going to be the two-headed monster that you're going to need in Chicago right there. Just because last time around, Amon-Ra, he got you, the 80 yards and a touchdown too as well. So I don't think he's going to have the same results going out on this one. So he's going to Jared Goff is going to rely on J-Mo a little bit more to be open and, have a little bit more success. I think this might be the game where we're like, oh my God, J-Mo finally broke out. This is the game that we've all been wanting from him, and I'm hoping that this will actually happen.
Waymo, I love it. Mike Bell says Waymo is going to have a career game against the Bears. I'm curious, and I'll tell you what, with the wind, at least with the wind, it's like 12-mile-per-hour winds. We'll see. I would assume that there's not too many deep shots downfield, but how they've been using J-Mo, JB, it's the way we've all asked for.
Hey, Ben Johnson's got something schemed up. I know he does.
He's cooking up something. I mean, he's doing things in the run game now. Kenji, what about you, man? Offensively, who needs to step up this week?
Well, you took mine with Kobe Sorsdahl. Definitely, you got to know that he's been struggling a lot, and they know that he's playing. They're going to be focusing on him a lot. But if I have to switch it up, I got to go Penei Sewell. That last Bears game, Jared Goff was under a decent amount of pressure. And I just really feel like they got to secure that edge. Montez Sweat is going to be coming trying to get another sack. And they kind of failed Jared Goff in that last Bears game. So I would like to see Penei really hold that edge down this time around.
Yeah, the tackles, man, they're going to be important. Penei and Taylor Decker. I mean, you're absolutely right, Kenji. Kool-Aid, I want you, man. Offensively, give me a player.
Yeah, you know what? I think the booth, our minds are kind of in lockstep. I'm going with a combo as well. J-Mo and Ben Johnson. I believe to be able to alleviate some of that pressure and some of the the schemes that have been working against the Lions in recent paths is to get J-Mo involved more. I know Herman Moore talked about it as well, and I'm hoping that Ben Johnson can scheme up some things. Maybe you're not taking too many shots down the field in a game like this, but maybe you're getting some underneath routes, some slant routes, and getting J-Mo the ball, getting him the ball in his hand so he can just take off, man. That speed it's a weapon, and I want to see the Lions use that.
You can't teach it.
Yeah,
like you can't teach this man speed. You just can't. And again, he's one of the more dynamic players. Although the statistics aren't there, his speed kills in the NFL. So I'm curious with J-Mo this week. Defensively, though, Sam, I'm going to go with my guy Josh Pascal because AG spoke on it yesterday in his press conference how Josh is going to be playing a little more inside without Aleem McNeil. So here we go. Josh Pascal, my guy, second-round pick. Did a lot of things at Kentucky, team captain. He was productive in college. Struggled with injuries. He's shown flashes. I mean, he showed flashes against Kansas City week 1. He played decent last week. I think this is a big game for Josh to kind of step up. Get a sack, Josh. They need you. Romeo Okwara has not been the Romeo Okwara of recent times. So somebody's going to have to step up without Aleem McNeil. I could go with Bohanna. That would be an interesting one, but no, I'm going to lean Josh Pascal, the former second-round pick. Hopefully it's a big day for him because Aiden Hutchinson needs him.
That's a good one. I am going to go with, and I cannot believe I am saying this, Levi Onwuzurike.
Where he been at?
I know, and
Jesus.
that just shows how desperate the Lions are at the interior defensive line position without Alim McNeill. But right now, on ESPN's depth chart, Levi Onwuzurike is listed as their starting defensive tackle right now. And here's the thing. I'm not expecting Levi Onwuzurike to be a star or anything like that, but he needs to at least be serviceable. We're talking about a guy who is actually a better prospect than Alim McNeill coming out of college. Levi was a second-round pick. Alim McNeill was a third-round pick, and Levi has obviously struggled with injuries. He missed all of last year, but I thought in the preseason, shows how much the preseason means, that Levi Onwuzurike was one of the standouts, but it just hasn't really translated to the regular season. He hasn't played for a majority of the games. And when he has played, funny little nugget, he has a higher PFF grade than Benito Jones and Quinnen Bohanna. So take that for what you will. And Isaiah Buggs, you can just never trust that he's going to get on the field because there's something going on with him. So to me, in the replacement, when your brother needs you the most, when Alim McNeill goes down, a fallen hero, Levi Onwuzurike needs to rise up and have at least a decent game.
Yeah,
do something.
Levi Onwuzurike has been missing in action.
Yes.
Like, I believe there's a missing persons report out on Levi Onwuzurike.
Yes.
He just, I don't know what where he's been or what he's been doing. But that's a great one, Sam. I mean, if you get something out of Levi, great. Great, JB. Give me a defensive player. Bruce Irvin.
I was actually going to go.
That's not a bad one either.
I was going to go with Bruce Irvin, but I'm going to step away from the players on this one. AG.
Yeah.
AG.
That's a good one.
I'm going to need you to step up in this one. If you want to hush all the critics talking about you, how you're on the hot seat and everything like that, scheme up the game of your life for this Lions defense. Go out there, put Justin Fields on his ass, contain him as much as you can, make him one-dimensional, make him beat you through the air, because I guarantee you it will not be the same results. You cannot sit here and let this man sit back here and run all over you. I guarantee you, if you can beat him with his arm and you can focus on DJ Moore and Cole Kmet, his two main targets, you will come out with a victory in this game.
There you go. What about you, Kenji?
I'm surprised nobody said the buzzword, which is Hutch. Hutch.
I didn't want to go with Hutch.
Okay.
Hutch got to step up, man, and I know the pressures are great. It's been a big talking point throughout the whole week. A lot of people are like really magnified on what Hutch does, but to me, he has to get home at some point. The pressures are great, but I would like to see him not just always be pushing outside. You want to see him kind of use more pass rush moves, get inside, and get to the quarterback, because when he's back there, he causes havoc. But we have to finish plays, because when plays break down, that's when the Lions are at their worst. So
there you go. Yeah. This is a game, I think, Hutch, man, those tackles for the Bears, they've been a little shaky. Even their first-round pick, Darnell Wright, a little shaky. I like that. Hutch needs to step up. What about you, Kool-Aid?
Hey, you know what? I was going to say Aiden Hutchinson as well. I just want to see him go out there and have one of those games that we saw last year. There were so many games last year where he absolutely blew up the opposing team's offense by doing everything, getting sacks, getting the pressures, getting interceptions. That's what I want to see. I want to see Aiden Hutchinson go out there and be very, very noticeable on the field. Not just, we know he gets the pressures, but how many plays go by and we're saying, well, where's Hutch at? Where's Hutch at? Where's Hutch at? I want to see him actually, just like Kenji just said, get home, man. Get into that backfield, put the quarterback on his butt, man, and let's have one of those games where we say, oh, that's the Hutchinson that we thought we'd see.
Stop over pursuing. You got to get inside. Got to get to the quarterback.
Yeah, it's a big test this week, man. Justin Fields, one of the more mobile quarterbacks. Let's go to break. When we come back, we'll welcome in Micro Mike because, I miss Mike, man. It's been a minute since we had Mike on the show. He's great. He's one of the best in the business. And we're going to kind of preview the Lions-Bears game this weekend with the help of Mike in a couple of minutes. But first, I got to tell you about our friends over at Big Boy. So let me tell you about them, guys. Big Boy, wintertime in Detroit is always better with comfort foods from Big Boy. If you want breakfast, they got it. They got potato pancakes, classic lumberjack, even apple pie hotcakes. And you can top it all off with gingerbread shake for dessert. A gingerbread shake for dessert. Think about that for a second. Go try it over at Big Boy. Stop by your local Big Boy today.
Savor the heart of home at Big Boy with our all-new down-home comfort dishes. Feast on home-style goodness with our Southern Comfort Chicken Bowl, veal parmigiana, and apple pie hotcakes. The down-home delight doesn't stop there. Potato pancakes are back. Dive into the richness of our perfectly crafted potatoes with our classic potato pancakes and our stuffed potato pancakes. Top off your meal with our new gingerbread shake, a seamless blend of creamy vanilla and sweet gingerbread flavors. Nothing beats the comforting taste of down-home cooking. Enjoy every bite, only at Big Boy.
Stop searching for a vehicle and start finding one. Les Stanford Chevrolet Cadillac makes it easy. We harness the power of multiple dealerships and own the biggest selection of GM brands in the area to get you the car you need. With the Les Stanford Group, you'll have access to 4 different dealerships, providing you with more makes, more models, and more choices. We're connected to more than 1,000 vehicles, and with so many high-quality CPO vehicles available, you'll find new car quality at pre-owned prices. You can start and end your search at lesstanford.com today.
Let's talk about Outdoor Equipment Company, official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan-grown, family-owned, bad boy mowers, tractors, steel handhelds, and even weed whippers. Wow. Trailers, generators, snow X-plows, and salters. Outdoor Equipment Company has it all. Buy it, rent it, 0% financing, delivery to your doorstep. Just visit their website at outdoorequipco.com.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Jeff Iafrate, Sam, Flannel, Detroit Kool-Aid, Kenji, JB, the entire crew's here. And we have a very, very special guest. I'm excited to welcome the man, the myth, the legend, Mike Rowe. Mike, you can catch him, again, on his own YouTube channel. Look at that, Mike. How you doing? Look at Mike. You can catch him on his YouTube channel, of course, at Lions Today, Lions Talk by Chat Sports. He does great content. You can follow him on X at MicroMike85. And I want to start off by saying, how you doing today, Mike? I know it's early for you. How you doing?
It is early in the morning, but I am living the dream back on Woodward Sports. It's been a minute, but it feels really good to be in the middle.
No, man, we're happy to have you. I want to ask you, Mike, because AG had his press conference yesterday, and I want some of your thoughts on just the whole fire AG or the AG criticism stuff. Where are you at with it? Because I think AG definitely deserves criticism. I don't think I'm blind to that. But the reality is, Mike, the personnel on this defense, we can't just ignore it either. What are your thoughts on the whole AG storyline this year?
Look, this defense has multiple problems. It's not just one thing. It's not just AG. It's a lack of personnel, and that is players being injured. It's lack of players whom you drafted, like a Levi Muzurike, inability to take that next step, and it is scheme. And so when you have all three coming together, you have the defense that you see right now, ever since the Ravens game, has really taken a massive dip. The Lions got to get this thing together. They got to put players in better positions to succeed, like a Jerry Jacobs and a Kirby Joseph, who I think is being misused. But they also must get pressure on the quarterback. That is where the big problem is. And when you have a guy in AARP Bruce Irvin coming off the couch who can get a sack, it really shows the problems with Romeo Okwara, with Julian Okwara, Joshua Pascal, lack of development. These guys got to hit home. You got to help out this defensive line. If you want to make this defense look better, sack the quarterback. That definitely will help.
No question.
And Mike, do you see a pathway to this defense improving drastically by the end of the year to where they can be to where the Lions can be more formidable in the playoffs? Or do you think this defense is going to ultimately cost them and maybe give the Lions a quicker exit in the playoffs than we might like?
I personally believe this defense will get better in the offseason. I don't think you're going to be able to get players who is going to come on this defensive line and just get after it. Romeo Okwara, Julian Okwara, the guys I just talked about, haven't done it all year. So what makes me believe that they're going to do it in the playoffs and at the end of the season? I think that is a legit lack of personnel. They must upgrade that position. The defense can improve for sure, but to take that next step and to compete with the Dallas Cowboys or the San Francisco 49ers, you're going to have to get a better players at the defensive line and maybe even another cornerback out there to really make this defense a contending defense. I think they'll host a playoff game. I think they'll win a playoff game, but after that, I think that's where the trouble is really going to come into play.
Yeah, we're in lockstep there, Mike. I want to ask you, at least for this game this weekend, the Chicago Bears coming off a bye week. They had an ugly win last week, and we know the problems they've kind of posed for the Lions at Ford Field. We saw it, Jared Goff turn the football over, something that we haven't seen a ton of, at least in Jared's career, over the last couple of weeks. Last week he kept it clean, but the last two prior weeks, he's just been struggling to take care of the football. I want your kind of expectations for this weekend and your confidence level the Lions will escape Chicago with a victory.
You know, I think it's going to be a close game because it's an NFC North showdown. The Bears are better than what they started the season. With that said, I also don't believe Jared Goff in this offense and special teams is going to do 4 turnovers in this game, and that's really what led to a close game. The odds of that happening seems extremely unlikely, especially after last week and their ability to stop that. But I think it's going to be a dogfight for sure. You're going against Chicago, that their defense has improved, and they can make stops. They've shown it so far this season. With that said, them throwing the football is a problem, but they got Justin Fields, who runs the football like a running back. So, look, I think it's going to be a close game, but the Lions ultimately win.
Yes. Mike, I want to talk a little bit more about the matchup with the Bears. What is something that the Bears do specifically that could give the Lions problems, and maybe did give them problems in their first matchup at Ford Field?
Kicking a dead horse is what we are good at here in Detroit, and that is Justin Fields running the football as a running back quarterback. Yeah. He has destroyed us. He's put up massive 100-yard games. The Lions' inability to stop the dual threat quarterback has been a problem. I think it's going to continue. Why? Because we don't have the personnel and we refuse to make adjustments, knowing the fact that this guy runs. So they're going to run the football, especially with 12-mile-per-hour winds, and there could be some snow and stuff like that going on. So they're going to use his legs, and that's going to hurt the Lions' defense in this game. But still, we are the better football team. I think we ultimately win.
Yeah, and you brought up the inclement weather, and I mentioned earlier I think this game is going to kind of ride on the shoulders of David Montgomery and Jahmyr Gibbs. Now, I want your take on kind of the injuries and how that impacts this game. Frank Ragnow went down, which, again, it's significant. Ali McNeil's not going to be there. Could you talk about that without Frank Ragnow, your confidence level that the Lions, because they were able to run the football against the Bears at Ford Field, they just got down, and again, they had to bail on the run a little bit there. Your thoughts on the run game and kind of the importance of it this week, even without a guy like Frank Ragnow, one of the best centers in the game?
Extremely important to run the football. And guess what? Chicago's defense is really good. They allow 79 yards per game. That's first in the NFL. And us not having Frank Ragnow, we've seen what happened last week. As soon as we lost Frank Ragnow, we could not run in between the tackles, and that's going to be a problem in this game. Now, I trust Graham Glasgow. I think he's good when he goes from any position, especially the center. But Sorsdale, whoever's going to be that right guard, really gives me a problem. And I don't think Penei Sewell trusts Sorsdale as much as you would like to see an offensive line trust the man next to them. I think that's a problem. You're seeing the regression a little bit. It's going to be hard to run the football. Now, I do like Ben Johnson's ability to scheme up runs, i.e. Jameson Williams with that last play last week where he scored that touchdown. I think they'll do plays like that, jet sweeps, some end arounds, and that will help out. But it's going to be tough to run between the tackles on Sunday.
Yeah, so despite all of the things that the Lions struggled with this year and recently, they're still a 9-3 football team. Yep. And as the season has gone along, I've tried to adopt the mentality of as long as the Lions keep winning, they can maybe even put themselves in position for like a 2 seed, and they're going to win the division. I think that's pretty much already wrapped up. But I'm seeing some negativity from some fans and maybe thinking that this Lions team should have maybe made a move at the deadline. Maybe there's a ceiling on what they can accomplish. So what is the right way to look at it? Should we be happy as Lions fans that they're going to have the best season that they've had probably since 1991? Or should we be disappointed that this could have been a year where they could have done more, but it's not looking like they will? Because I don't think they can beat the Eagles or the 49ers or maybe even the Cowboys in the playoffs myself.
Look, if you would have said Lions going to be 9-3 at this point, myself included, and I think a lot of Lions fans would be very, very happy. I think we're just worried a little bit, right? We want to make sure we win the NFC North, want to get a playoff game, and it's not there yet, so we're worried. We want this team to win. There's been fans that's been fans for 50, 60 years, and they've seen it all too much where it's failed at the end. And I don't think they're going to fail at the end, but I understand their concerns and their worries. But you're right, we're 9-3. This is a great and a fun season. This is awesome. I mean, getting 9 wins at this point is a great feeling, and it makes you all fuzzy inside. But with that said, look, I think this team absolutely is having a good season, and it's not fully there yet. You know, we remember that Brad Holmes took this team over, and it was booty cheeks. It was terrible. What Patricia did to this regime and Quinn did to this regime should be going to jail for it. And they're slowly getting it back there. And now, look, Dan Campbell, out of 3 years, 2 winning seasons. We're looking to win the NFC North right now. So the world's not falling. The sky's not falling. And this team is going to be a good team for many, many years. So enjoy the ride. We got a couple more games to go.
Yeah, you brought up what Brad and Dan walked into, which I would agree is booty cheeks. You are spot on with that, Micro Mike. It is booty cheeks. What about the Coach of the Year race? Because me and Sam had this debate yesterday, and Dan Campbell's been the favorite all year, but then you have a D'Amico Ryans with a rookie quarterback and what they've been doing. You have a Shane Steichen with the Colts and what he's been doing with Gardner Minshew Mania. Where are you at with Dan Campbell this year? Is it his award to lose? You think a guy like D'Amico or Shane Steichen, they've been doing something so impressive, they might kind of surpass Dan in the race? Because I believe it's Dan's award to lose. I do, Mike.
I think D'Amico and Dan, they should be both at the very top. What they're doing over there in Houston is just amazing. C.J. Stroud has looked phenomenal. They took over a really bad team, and now they potentially could win their division or definitely make a playoff run. But I think it's got to be Dan Campbell's at this point. You took a team over that was horrible, and now in 2 seasons, your winning season this year, you're 9-3. You're a half game out from the number 1 seed. The Detroit Lions are the talk of the town. You don't do this without the kneecap-biting cannibal Dan Campbell to come in here and change the trajectory of this franchise for not just now, but the future. I thought last year he should be in the conversation. This year, I think he should win. He absolutely should. I don't think many coaches can come into Detroit and change what he did.
Yes.
I mean, this is a special job. D'Amico Ryan, I love him, but I don't know if he could even do that. Bill Belichick, look, I hate the Patriot way. He's a good coach. I don't think he could do that. It takes somebody of Dan Campbell and a former player, somebody with the intensity, the emotions that he brings to change the trajectory of the Detroit Lions franchise.
And one last question, Mike, because I want your take on this, because it seems like there's been a split in the fan base with the whole Aiden Hutchinson thing. And I believe that, I'm not blind, and me and Sam have this conversation, that he needs help. That's very clear. If you have a guy who offensive lines have to account for besides Aiden, of course it's going to make Aiden better. And I do believe sacks at times are kind of a timing thing. But with Aiden this year, some would say he's having a great year despite not having the sacks, the amount of sacks people expect him to have. Others would say, cool, pressures are awesome, but get sacks. Where are you at with the whole Aiden thing and just kind of his year he's had so far?
He needs to get more sacks. I mean, when you draft a guy with the second pick, with the set, is he a bust? No, I don't. I'm in more in the middle here. Yeah. He's done some things that are really good. Obviously, the pressures, and he's good at getting turnovers. That's something that other edge rushers are not as good as Aiden Hutchinson. Miraculously gets an interception quite a bit, or a sack fumble at the very end. That's something that he does. But even if you ask Aiden Hutchinson right now, he says, yeah, I got to play better. Yeah. It doesn't help when he doesn't have any help on the other side. But again, he's a second pick in the draft. He is a high player. He can get better, and I think he will get better. He's not a bust. Wait till he gets some help on the edge. Wait till next year when they actually got some other pass rushers. You'll see Aiden Hutchinson's numbers rise.
Man, great stuff, Mike. We appreciate you. Hopefully, man, in the future we can have you on at least once a week. We can have you preview some of these Lions games. You do a great job. If you guys want to catch Mike, you can. YouTube, Lions Talk by Chat Sports. The man's crushing it. One of the best in the business. We appreciate you, Mike. We appreciate your presence.
Thank you, Mike.
Hey, take it easy, fellas. Go Lions.
Hell yeah, go Lions. There you have it. Micro Mike, the man, the myth, the legend. We got to get him back, man. He's great. He really is, and he's hilarious. But before we go to break here, I got to tell you about our friends, or you got to tell you about our friends at Swiss Insurance.
Do you have football on the brain? Of course you do. Fall ushers in college and professional football, and this year has been awesome. Fall is also a perfect time to shop your home and auto insurance. Shop it like a pro with Swiss Insurance. They cover Woodward Sports Network, and they should be covering you too. Ask for Mark at Swiss Insurance today at swissins.com. or call 248-800-4177. Again, that is 248-800-4177, Swiss Insurance.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Woodward Sports' own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Gabby, is a college student struggling to study for her big exam. Then she discovered Syntron, a healthy way for her to stay awake and focus. Jennifer frequently has chaotic days like this until she gets online, orders some Syntron, and finds her groove. April visited her local grocery store, purchased a case of Syntron, and entered to win the Syntron 100K Vegas giveaway. Pick up your case of Syntron today at any Meijer location or visit drinksyntron.com/Vegas and enter for the 100K Vegas giveaway.
Football season. You know what time it is. Glorious Cannabis has dropped their new ice water bubble hash infused pre-roll called Honolulu Blue. It smells so good. It's like the whiff of the first playoff win in 31 years. It's a gassy, aggressive strain named in honor of our Detroit football team. And if you haven't had one of these ice water pre-rolls, then what are you waiting for? You are missing out. Find a Dispo dispensary near you and get yourself 25% off, and check them out online today at gloriouscanna.com.
I love that. That's it, JB. That's it. We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. Just got done talking to Micro Mike. Man, he's a good friend of mine, and again, he's a good friend of the show. Hopefully we can have him back again because he's amazing. But for right now, let's go around the NFL. We'll give our pick-ups and we'll give our scores and just kind of pick some winners and losers. You know what, though, Kenji? I'm going to need a beat for this one as we preview these games.
All right, I got you.
All right, you know what? Yeah, see? There you go, Kenji. All right, let's start it off. Buccaneers, Falcons. Thanks, JB, for this. Look at that, man. See, the whole team's just... We're on point today on this Friday. All right, we'll start it. Actually, we'll go off the graphics, so it makes it easier. We'll go Rams, Ravens.
Rams, Ravens.
Rams, Ravens. I believe the Ravens are... Yeah, they're at home. Yes, they are at home. They're favored by 7.5. What's going on in this game?
The Ravens are going to win big. I mean, the Rams have been playing a lot better lately, but I think the Ravens defensive line will get after Matthew Stafford, and I think the Ravens will get a lead and be able to run the football effectively. So give me the Ravens by 10 to 14. They need this game too to keep pace with the number 1 seed battle of the AFC. Give me the Ravens.
And I believe the Ravens, I could be wrong, but they're coming off a bye, right?
I believe so.
Yeah, they are. Last game they played was against the Chargers, who played last week in a disgusting game, 6-0 win over the Patriots. Yeah, give me the Ravens off a bye here. I do think the Rams keep it close. I do. Unless that Ravens defensive line gets loose and Matthew Stafford's going to have a long day. But the Rams have been playing well. They're on the road. The Ravens at times can show they play down to their competition at times. We'll see. I got the Ravens winning this one, but give me the Rams to cover. Let's move on here. Next matchup, Colts, Bengals, Jake Browning. Is that Joe Burrow? I can't tell. Jake Browning.
It's the same.
Over there. It's all the same, man. Potato. Jake Browning, Joe Burrow. The guy threw for over 350 yards. Think about that for a second. In his second, third NFL game of his entire career, he's been cut multiple times. Give me the Colts.
Yeah.
all that to say, give me the Colts.
Yes, I got the Colts in this one as well. If Joe Burrow were there, I would pick the Cincinnati Bengals. I think that was a bit of a mirage from Jake Browning. I think the Colts will be able to run the football. Their defense is going to play well, and it will boost Shane Steichen in the Coach of the Year race.
Well, hey, actually, give me the Bengals for that reason. No, I'm just kidding. We'll go through the room quickly, guys. Give me a pick. Colts, Bengals. What do you got, JB?
Betting purposes, give me the Colts on this one.
Okay, if you're putting some change on it,
putting some bread on it, so give me the Colts on this one.
Okay, Colts. What about you, Kool-Aid? What do you think? If you're a betting man, you throw a couple dollars on it.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Colts, man.
Colts, okay. Kenji?
Jake Browning, FTW. I will take it. It's gonna be an ugly game, though. It's gonna be very ugly.
I could see that. I could see like a 17-13, or we'll see. Jake Browning can put up points now. I guess so. I don't know. We'll see what kind of Jake Browning we get. Panthers, Saints. Who cares? That game's gonna be garbage. Saints are gonna win that game and a bounce back. I don't care who's starting. Derek Carr.
Taysom Hill.
Jameis Winston, Taysom Hill, Dennis Allen. I don't give a damn who it is. Give me the Saints. All right, moving on. Vikings, Raiders. I think Josh Dobbs is a bounce back game. Raiders are playing better though, and Aiden O'Connell's actually better than I thought he would be. And I think this game will be close. But give me the Vikings to bounce back to get a win here.
Ooh, I actually have the Raiders in this one.
Okay.
Once you get the stain of Jimmy Garoppolo off your team and off your starting lineup, maybe you're actually going to win something. And Josh McDaniels as well, of course. I think I would expect a big game from Max Crosby and Devontae Adams. Give me the all of a sudden resurgent Raiders.
What about you, JB?
Is Justin Jefferson back or no?
That's what I don't know. I do not know. I could check for you, but I'm assuming he's questionable.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's questionable. He's probably not going to play, so I'm actually siding with the Raiders on this one.
He is expected to play. We'll see, though. I don't know. We'll see. It says his return could help change things around. That's an article. So we'll see.
I don't like that. Yeah,
I don't know if he's playing or not, but yeah, the Raiders, okay. I'll go with the Vikings. What do you guys got?
Look, man, if Justin Jefferson, if he's playing, I got to kind of give that to the Vikings, but if not, the Raiders have a little bit more to stifle the Vikings.
Okay, Raiders.
Give me the ball head wonder in the Vikings.
The ball head. Hey, that's fair. All right, me and Kenji with the Vikings. Yes, Justin Jefferson is back. Thanks for that, everyone in the chat. They kind of informed us there. Appreciate you. Kansas City, Buffalo.
Ooh, it's a big game.
Big game. And the Bills are a team, Sam, that I don't care. And by the way, you see Sean McDermott's 9/11 analogy?
Yeah.
What are you doing, Sean?
Not great, Sean.
You're in New York. Damn it. Man made a 9/11 analogy. That is one of the biggest L's this year. Trying to compare the execution of 9/11 to how, in the camaraderie, how they executed it to how, I don't even know, man. That is the biggest L. Sean McDermott, you're an idiot. Give me the Kansas City Chiefs. Yes. Even though the Bills, I do think they keep it close. Because they always do for some reason. I don't know why. But give me the Chiefs this game. They bounce back.
The Chiefs not only win this one, they win this one and they don't lose another regular season game the rest of the year. This is that late season run that the Chiefs always go on when it looks like they're dead in the water, and it starts against the Buffalo Bills. Because if the Chiefs lose this one, then there's going to start being some rumblings, I think, from the fans. But they're not going to let that happen. Chiefs, JB?
Yeah, I'm rolling with the Chiefs on this one. They need a bounce back after that embarrassment to Jordan Love.
Oh,
so.
They have to.
Yeah.
What about you guys, Chiefs or Bills?
Look, man, Patty Mac, he's going to be locked in, and he's going to make Flannel Sam a very happy man. Chiefs.
Yeah, Flannel Sam, I kind of want him to lose now. Make it interesting. Kenji, what about you? Chiefs, Bills.
I'm still not trusting that Chiefs offense. Give me the Bills in the upset.
Okay, there you go. All right, Sunday Night Football, Eagles, Cowboys.
America's game.
How dare you, JB?
Which America you talking about?
Yeah, yeah, South America?
South America, of course. Come on.
Oh, I love that. No, Eagles, Cowboys, I think it's going to be a hell of a game. I'm going to shock some people. I'm riding with the fraudulent Cowboys. Give me the Cowboys. They're playing, listen, that defense had they didn't play well against the Seahawks. I think they bounced back. The Eagles are vulnerable right now. And I think the Cowboys are pissed how it ended last time they played in Philly. They're at Dallas. Give me the Cowboys. They play well at home.
I got the Cowboys as well. I think this is a game in which the Dak Prescott to CeeDee Lamb connection goes wild because the Eagles do have a bad secondary. And I expect Micah Parsons to put his stamp on the game. Maybe have his Defensive Player of the Year caliber game in which he really vaults himself as the top of the list. Give me the Cowboys because I think this team is different than the previous Cowboys teams. And the Eagles have more weaknesses than they did last year. Cowboys.
JB? America's game.
Fuck Dallas. Philly all day.
All right, Kool-Aid, Genji.
Philly, man.
Philly?
Eagles, yeah.
All right, Philly.
Philly, yeah, I gotta go Philly with this one. The beginning of the Dakota Rain choke job begins in Dallas this weekend.
And part of it, I'm a little biased because I want the Eagles to lose for Lions, their 1 seed purposes. But regardless, I do believe the Cowboys will come out with a victory here. Green Bay, New York, Tommy DeVito, easily give me New York. Moving on, no, I'm just kidding. That game's gonna be garbage.
Seriously though.
Hey, Tommy DeVito, man, he's putting on for Italians out there. He is.
I gotta give him credit.
Someone said he's the Jeremy Lin of the NFL right now.
Oh my God.
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
DeVito sanity.
Let's not disrespect Jeremy Lin like that.
All right, we'll move on though. That game, who cares? I mean, Packers, I think we all agree. I mean, okay, whatever.
Let's hope the stadium blows up or something.
Yeah, well, damn. All right, all right, move on. Buccaneers, Falcons. This game, man, Arthur Smith, he's going to find a way to not use Bijan Robinson. We'll see how it plays out. Give me the Buccaneers.
Bus. I got the Falcons in this one because I think Bijan Robinson goes for over 100 and the defense forces at least one Baker Mayfield interception because he's still a bum. Give me the Falcons.
There you go. What about you, JB?
Give me the Bucs in this one, Jeff. As you said, Arthur Smith will find a way to sit
find a way.
Bijan over there in the corner and have him go get Gatorade or orange slices for the rest of the team. So, yeah, give me the Bucks.
Well, that's been the oddest thing this year, man. Expecting so much out of Bijan and just really haven't gotten what I've expected. But I got to go with the Bucks for this one.
Bucks? Okay, what about you, Kenji?
Screw Arthur Smith. He has ruined my fantasy season by not playing Bijan as much as I needed him to.
Yeah.
So let's go Baker Mayfield and the Bucks.
Can we for 1 second stop acting like Bijan Robinson is just this like terrible, severely underused player or something like that? He's still top 10 in the NFL in rushing.
But to Kool-Aid's point, I think he's capable of more.
Sure.
Just early in the season. For whatever reason, Arthur, like there's a game where he barely got carries. Like Arthur should be giving Bijan 17 to 25 carries a game.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
He'll be games where he gets like 14, 12, 11. Like I expected Bijan to be like Zeke when he came out. But we'll see.
Booner, of course.
Oh, well, yeah.
He's Bijan Robinson and just like something.
Yeah.
It's not right.
I don't want to even start it with Booner.
I love Jahmyr Gibbs, by the way, Booner. I think you kind of misrepresented me on your show, but that's all right. Happy with Jahmyr Gibbs.
We'll kind of fly through these next picks. We'll just give a winner, loser. Jags, Browns. Hey, Trevor Lawrence was limited in practice. Maybe he plays? I don't know. Give me the Jags, though. I don't trust anyone who's starting for the Browns.
Browns. I think C.J. Beathard gets put in a blender by Myles Garrett. 2 sacks and maybe knocks him out of the game.
Oh my God. Here you go. The knock out of the game thing. Damn
I said
it.
maybe.
Maybe. All right, Browns. I got
Over here
Jags.
trying to injure quarterbacks, Flannel. What is going on?
No, I'm not calling for. You know what? Scratch that. C.J. Beathard will not get hurt. But Myles Garrett's a scary man.
Yeah, he is.
Nah, C.J. Beathard's getting hurt. Give me the Browns in this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, look, no Lawrence, no Jags. Let me get the Browns.
All right, Browns.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence is not going to play. They got bigger aspirations. Give me the Browns.
All right, there you have it. Moving on. Texans, Jets. Yeah. C.J. Stroud. That's all I got to say.
Texans.
You guys agree there?
Texans all day, baby.
Yeah. I was about to say, if you want to make the case for the Jets, go ahead.
This next one, though, upset alert for me.
Seahawks, 49ers.
Upset alert. I don't like that line. The line is at like 10.5, man. I don't trust double-digit spreads in NFL games. I just don't.
Okay, so you think the Seahawks cover and you think they win out?
I think they win, actually, and only because I need the Lions to get that 2 seed. So let's go.
There you go. Okay, so we have there's a motivational thing. Okay, I get it. That's how I feel with the Eagles. So I'm with you. Although I would love the Seahawks to win, no chance.
I feel it.
Just because they're on the road, they're in San Francisco. Last time they played the 49ers, they got absolutely decimated. I do think they keep it closer, though. I don't think they get blown out.
It's a trap game to me.
It very well could be. The Seattle Seahawks play the Cowboys close, but Sam, I'm leaning the 49ers. I think they win by 10. I'll go.
You know, Kenji, I want a lot of things in life. I want $1 million. I want the Seahawks to win because it would help the Lions, but I think the 49ers win this one by double digits. I mean, when they went to Seattle, they dropped a bomb on them. I just think the 49ers right now, as presently constructed, are just a different level than everybody else. Lucas Klotz was right all along. Shout out. Give me the 49ers.
JB?
Give me the 49ers. Best team in the NFL.
Dogs. What about you, Kool-Aid?
49ers, man. Wish Seahawks could do something, but I just don't see it.
Kenji, you're going with the upset.
Yep,
Seattle.
Seahawks.
All right, Kenji riding with Seattle. All right, let's move on. Broncos, Chargers. Wow. Okay. Sean Payton's going to coach circles around Staley, so give me the Broncos. And as long as Russ doesn't turn over the football, that secondary, I think they could take advantage of it. Denver for at least times this season, they've been able to capitalize on some big plays with Cam Sutton, or excuse me, not Cam Sutton, Cortland Sutton.
Yeah.
Excuse me. I said Cam Sutton earlier. Give me the Broncos, though. On the road. I don't give a damn.
I'm going to do what I always do when it comes to the Chargers. Although it didn't quite play out that way last week because the defense actually helped out Justin Herbert. I believe Justin Herbert throws for 3 touchdown passes, the running game stalls, and the defense gives up the best game of the season to Russell Wilson, and everybody blames Justin Herbert and calls him a bum because they're dumb. Give me the Broncos to win and for me to be doing this at the end of the day. Having to defend my guy.
All right, Broncos. What about you?
I'm taking the Broncos as well. Yeah.
Are we
sad
Broncos?
to say.
Broncos country, that's right? No, I ain't going that far. Kool-Aid, what about you? Who you got?
Hey, we're going to go with the Broncos, man. And I just don't like the Chargers.
Yeah, that's fair.
I'll go that way. Let's ride. Broncos.
All right, Tennessee, Will Levis, Booner's guy versus the Miami Dolphins.
Mayo coffee.
Yeah, that's secondary. Yeah, Mayo coffee, man. It's disgusting. It should be ashamed of yourself. But he's playing well, so keep drinking it. I don't care. Miami, though, that's secondary for the Tennessee Titans.
Man.
They're going to put up at least 30 on the Titans. Give me the Dolphins by a blowout.
Dolphins by 21.
Yeah. Dolphins by a blowout. What about you?
Dolphins on the blowout.
Yep.
Yeah, it's not close.
Dang, it ain't going to be close.
Tyreek Hill, 200-yard game. Give me the Dolphins.
250 yards.
Chasing 2K.
250 yards.
And there you have it. Let's
he might get it.
Let's go to break here. We come back. We're going to put up our final score graphics, or at least our game.
Arizona. Oh, they're buys. My
Yes,
fault.
you're good.
I was going to make a joke, but my fault.
I was going to say, if they were playing, you want to break that down, Flannel? No.
Kyler Murray.
Kyler Murray, baby. All right, let's go to break. We come back. We'll get our game predictions graphic, and we got a new addition on there. We got Kool-Aid. Sorry, Lucas Klotz. Love you, but we had to take you. Makes me sad. We had to take Lucas Klotz off the score prediction graphic, but guess what? He's in the chat. So, Lucas, drop your damn score prediction.
Do it,
you
Lucas.
Bum.
Love you, bro.
You bum. All right, let's get out of here. We got to tell you about our friends, though, over at Planet Fitness, because Lucas Klotz, you look like you got to get in Planet Fitness, bud. Yeah, I'm talking to you. $10 a month. It ain't that much. Get in there. Fitness is essential. Talking to you, Klotz. Hey, Planet Fitness is a place to be, man. You get in there, you get your workout, it's cheap, and they got everything you need. Trainers on deck. They even got the little water massage thingy that is amazing. All right, you pay $20 a month, you get everything. You can tan like Lucas Klotz because he's a ghost, but he can tan if he wants to. $10 a month, your fitness is essential.
Come to Lady Jane's for an award-winning haircut experience and register for a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to win an all-expenses-paid suite for the 2024 NCAA tournament for you and 5 of your best buds. Lady Jane's open 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. It's wicked awesome.
Brace yourselves, Detroit. As the sun begins to set, 2 of Woodward Sports' brightest young stars will be taking the mic for a brand new show. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder. The dog days in Detroit are over, and the boys are unleashed. Join in on the banter and hop on the bandwagon of the #1 night show on the internet. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel every weeknight from 8 to 10 p.m. Woodward Nights with Booner and Broder.
Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's #1 Chevy dealer, 18 locations. Again, Feldman, they took care of me when my car was unfortunately smashed in my driveway. They hooked me up with a new Equinox. It's great. It drives well, man. And those guys at Feldman, specifically Francis, actually took care of me. So, again, those guys are great. Go over to Feldman Chevrolet, Detroit's and Michigan's #1 Chevy dealer. And since 1996, Feldman Automotive has been driven to provide a fast, convenient, and first-class car buying experience called the Feldman Advantage. You can catch Woodward Sports live from Feldman Chevrolet in Novi every other Monday. All right, we're back. It's time. Game predictions. Let's get the score graphic up. We all have our score predictions listed on this graphic. I'm going to go to Kenji for his as well. We'll start. There you have it. Look at Brandon. He made the graphic.
Still got this picture of me up here.
Yeah, JB.
That JB picture is classic.
Yeah, that JB picture ain't going nowhere, JB. It looks like you just had a night with Hillary Duff, I think. That's what it looks like.
She finally answered the text back.
Yeah. All right, my score, I got 27-20. I think the Lions win by a touchdown here. I do think it's close. The Bears are at home. I don't expect them to completely crap the bed, but I think the offense for the Lions will just be too much, and they're not going to turn the football over. That's the difference. So Lions, they win 27-20.
Oh, man, good call. I actually predicted on yesterday's show, and I'm flip-flopping, but flip-flopping the positive way towards the Lions actually winning this game. As you can see, it is very, very close. I think that the Lions kind of play a little bit more methodical. The Bears do get some things going offensively, especially with Justin Fields running. I still think that's a problem with the Lions, and they're going to be able to run the ball a little more effectively with Aleem McNeil being out. But I think the difference in the game is something else you can always count on Justin Fields doing. I think the Bears have a late lead. I think it's like time's kind of running out in the fourth quarter, maybe 3 minutes left, and Justin Fields commits a terrible turnover like he did last year, and it gives the Lions a short field in order to run out the rest of the clock and score a game-winning touchdown where the extra point is the difference to make it 24-23 Detroit Lions.
And by the way, Lucas Klotz, Lucas Klotz is down bad in the chat right now.
Yeah, that's an amazing quote.
Sir James says JB's pick is payback for the drops on Jeff. Yes, Sir James, it is. You know what? That's a great point. JB, what about your score prediction? Break it down for me.
That's fair. I completely understand that. Mine's 28-23 is still going to be a very close game, but I do expect the Lions to hop out to an early lead, kind of ride that out the majority of the game. Eventually, AG's defense will step up. It'll be that bend but don't break, and Lions will come out with a W on this one, but it will be extremely close, and we'll all be on the edge of our seat watching this game once again.
Griffin Lackey, shout out to him. He says, Flannel, you have the most fantasy-ass scenarios. I know. Flannel, I could picture it in my head. I'm sitting here, meditating. I could just picture Flannel's scenario, what he's describing. Did you say Justin Fields gets knocked out for the season or no?
No, I did not. Okay. I said he commits a costly turnover when it's really not needed at all.
I love it.
He did against last year for Jeff Okudah.
Yeah, that is true. Okudah, yeah. Kool-Aid, yes, 27-17. Talk to me. Why 27-17?
Hey, look, I think it's going to be 24-17. The Bears are going to have this last drive, and similar to what Flannel just said, Fields is going to have a costly turnover, and the Lions are going to kick that last field goal to just kind of put it just out of reach and seal this game. I believe that the offense is going to actually do a lot of underneath stuff, obviously, and then have the opportunity on one of those plays to surprise the Bears with J-Mo or Sam Laporta on a deep catch. Sam Laporta this year, he has the longest reception for the Lions at 48 yards. I think he's going to have a big game too.
There you have it. Ken G, what about you, man? Your score prediction, I've not heard.
Yeah, I gave it yesterday.
Oh, yes, you did.
Yeah, and it's JB's score prediction, which is 28-23. I had it as an unnecessary shootout, meaning the Lions will probably get up early and they're going to have to hang on for dear life. But I do see them getting out of Chicago like they stole something with the 28-23.
I love it. There you have it. Everyone has the Lions winning. I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. But you know what? We're confident in the Detroit Lions.
Knock on wood.
Yeah, knock on wood. We'll go to break here. When we come back, we'll get into what's trending with JB Smooth and, of course, mailbag. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Premier Pet.
Yes, of course. And I get to talk about and shout out my golden retriever, Jake, and my orange cat, Milo. When it comes to your pet, don't settle.
Milo!
I don't settle when it comes to Jake or Milo. They're being very, very good lately. Give your pet the best like I give my pet the best. Premier Pet Supply is hands down Michigan's best pet store. Family owned and operated for over 30 years. 13 Metro Detroit locations, over 60 brands of food, lowest prices, and curbside home delivery. Premier Pet Supply. Give your pet the best. Visit them at premierpetsupply.com.
Calling all landscapers. This is Darren McCarty. I'm at Outdoor Equipment Co. How would you like to landscape like a legend? How about a bad boy zero turn? And even a chainsaw. And even a weed whipper. Whether you landscape for your job or landscape for fun, get all your equipment from Outdoor Equip Co., the official equipment provider of Woodward Sports. Michigan grown, family owned. OutdoorEquipCo.com.
Woodward Sports own Tom Mazaway and Sam Stick Day will be hosting our Lions postgame show after every Lions game all season long. Tune into the Woodward Sports YouTube channel for his hot-off-the-press takes, game analysis, and Kool-Aid sipping celebrations. You won't want to miss it. Join Maz, Stick, and special guests each week immediately following every Lions game, exclusively on the WSN YouTube channel.
Your home is your most important asset. Flexibility in the sales process is key. When you work with Mark White & Associates, you can cancel at any time, for any reason, without penalty. Speaking of flexibility, check this out. Who you work with matters. Hire the best broker in the game.
Come on, this your boy Ken G here to tell you about Centron. Now, I know y'all want to go to Vegas. I know y'all want to win 100K, and how you do that is with Centron Energy. Drink it and live it. Purchase a 24-pack today and enter to win at drinkcentron.com/Vegas, and you can get it at your local Meijer store. Centron, the healthier energy drink with great taste, look good, feel great, and be the best version of yourself. Again, that's drinkcentron.com/Vegas.
We're back. It's the Morning Woodward Show here on the Woodward Sports Network. New Money says, hey, Jeff, do your hair like D-Mac. Man, I can't imagine me trying to pull that off, dude.
That's just part of D-Mac's aura, you know? Like it wouldn't look right with you.
Oh, no. I would look like a lesbian. But for D-Mac, he could just pull it off.
Lesbian, though.
Like, D-Mac is just tough as nails. Yeah. He can do whatever he wants, and it fits. He looks great. For me, you'd be like, what the hell, Jeff? You look weird.
Apparently, like a lesbian.
I would get real. I can't do what D-Mac can do. He's D-Mac. You know, he can just pull off.
Who's gonna stop him?
Yeah, who's gonna? You gonna say something to him? You gonna say something to him? No, you're not. Exactly. D-Mac is the GOAT. I love it. John Lord says, "Clip it, JB. Don't do that.
He will.
Do not do that." James says D-Mac goes through a wood chipper to do his hair. Okay, you know what? I can't. Okay, you know what? Let's get to what's trending. I don't want no smoke with D-Mac. JB, what do you got for us?
I got you. I'm glad we got Kool-Aid here as well too. Shout out to the Pistons and shout out to Neil Rule. He will be on the call tonight for the Pistons versus Orlando game, the radio call they play tonight. But this came across excellent yesterday. Shout out to Pistons Talk. I want to know how you guys feel about this trade right here.
Oh my God.
Karl Anthony Towns and a first.
You know what?
For Marvin Bagley, James Wiseman, Killian Hayes, Jalen Duren, and
this?
Kevin Knott.
Who made this? Who made this? Who made this?
Hey, somebody cue up that Michael Scott saying, no.
I want the name. Who made this? Who made this?
I don't know.
I saw Jalen Duren.
That's what I was about to say. Jalen Duren's on there?
What the? Karl Anthony Towns.
Yep, Cat.
Big cat.
Hey, he plays defense like a cat. Karl Anthony Towns, I am not touching him with a 100-foot pole.
Do it. I'll take anything right now. So
that is.
I'm a desperate fan right now.
Okay, guys, I get it. Like the Pistons stink. I get it, and it's frustrating. But like that, no. Karl Anthony Towns is not fixing any problems for you.
It's pretty bad.
I promise you, he's not.
And you're giving up half your team to do it.
Yeah, damn. Yeah, I'm good on Karl Anthony Towns. And a first-round pick? Yeah, no, I'm good.
How are you giving up every center on the roster for Karl Anthony Towns?
I just have to do this, and I know it's not a complete.
Don't do it.
Wait a minute.
Don't do it.
You don't even know what I'm about to do.
Hot take alert. Hot take alert.
Don't go off the numbers, Sam. Don't do it.
You don't even know what I'm about to do because I know that Jalen Duren's on a rookie contract and he's very promising. I love how in this room everybody is just kind of like Karl Anthony Towns. What a bum. He's the worst thing ever, even though he's averaged like 5 consecutive seasons of 20 and 10.
He goes right to the
last 3
Hot
seasons
take alert.
he's at over 20. And with Jalen Duren, it's just like. I get it. Jalen Duren has a very promising future, but it's like Karl Anthony Towns, get him out of the league, bum. I wouldn't touch him with a 100-foot pole with Jalen Duren. It's like, oh my God, this guy's literally Dwight Howard in the flesh right now. He's gonna be Shaq. And I like Jalen Duren, but come on.
Karl Anthony Towns.
Pistons have 2 wins.
Come on,
a lot of stats.
Come on with that.
Not a lot of. Where's the team's success truly at?
He ain't impacting winning.
He doesn't make your team better, and he's soft if you ask me. And I'm a fan of his game. He's a good player. He's a really good player, but he's soft. He's not gonna get it done for you when it matters.
Here's my question with Karl Anthony Towns, man, is he's a little bit of a diva too.
Sure.
A little bit like I just don't like Karl Anthony. You could say, well,
can't be a soft diva.
He's averaged 20 points for consecutive seasons.
He can hoop, but he's not the guy.
But he's just not a dude that I'm clamoring for.
It's just I just find it funny that everybody assumes that Karl Anthony Towns is just this soft losing player, and Jalen Duren is 100% with certainty a winning player.
What has he won, Sam?
They've made the playoffs, and I'm not saying.
The one playoff victory where Pat Bev jumped on the announcer's table like they won the Super Bowl or something.
I'm not saying that Karl Anthony Towns is a leader or anything like that, but you might be seeing him in the Basketball Hall of Fame, whether you like it or not.
Jesus!
Wait!
Take alert.
Pat and not Ben Wallace?
Yes! Yeah, I'll go there. I've said that before. I'll say it again.
Oh my God.
It's that new flannel, man. I'm telling you, that new flannel is a little tight.
It's the Basketball Hall of Fame. It's not that hard to get into. He was the #1 overall pick. He's averaged 20 points a game every season since his rookie year. He's averaged 5 straight.
Tell him, Jeff. Get on him, Jeff.
This is like, you know when like Christians,
Get
like, you can sense the devil and you have a cross? Like, this is me, like, with that, like, get away! Get away!
Bro,
Get away!
Cat chased away Jimmy Butler, man. Come on. I can't do
Yeah,
it.
Jimmy Butler bust his ass in a practice, man. Like,
with
come
bench
on,
players, bro.
Ben Wallace.
I can't. Oh, man.
All right, JB, what else you got?
I was not expecting it to get that heated, but all right, okay, let's do that. But I came across this as well online. But 1 3-pointer to save your life. Who are you picking? Jeff, I know you don't have to go because
Karl Anthony Towns.
You're going to pick.
He can shoot threes pretty damn well. There we go.
Anthony Towns on this one. 1 3-pointer to save your life. Like I said, Jeff, you don't have to go. We all know you're picking LeBron, but
No, okay. Hold on.
I mean, I would do that for 3-pointers, but
Yeah, for threes, okay, LeBron, I do believe he's the GOAT, but I'm not going to go. If I need a three-point shot to save my life, no Steph Curry. So you got Kobe, Kevin Durant, Reggie Miller, Klay Thompson, Larry Bird, and is
that
Ray Allen?
and
Yeah.
Ray Allen.
Bucks and Ray Allen.
In their prime? Man, that's tough. Man, I could go with a couple different answers here.
Yeah, I'm stuck.
I'll say in their prime, you could go. Larry Bird would be a good one. To me, right now, it's Reggie, Klay, or Ray, because I'm assuming it's a catch and shoot 3.
Yeah.
Ooh, I know exactly who.
This is tough. I'm gonna go Ray Allen. I'm gonna go Ray Allen.
Ray Allen?
I'm gonna go Ray Allen.
I respect that.
I'm
I
gonna go
respect
Ray.
that.
I'm gonna go Ray.
What do you think?
It's Ray Allen without a shadow of a doubt because he actually hit one of the biggest threes in NBA history.
Yes, sir.
You can't even really
It's one of my favorite highlights ever.
Well, that's the thing. Like, you can't even remember too many like big time threes that you remember forever from any of these guys. I'm not trying to like hate on him or anything, but Ray Allen, he's done it. To me, he's the second best, either the second or third best shooter all time. If you want to include like Steph, Klay, and Ray, or Steph, Ray, and Klay, or something like that, Ray is right up there.
I was gonna pick Larry Bird even with his left hand. Honestly, like I was close to picking Larry, but I'm going with Ray. Don Beach says I want Iguodala.
Oh God,
that's a good one. What about you guys?
Kool-Aid, what you got?
Jesus Shuttlesworth, man.
Yeah.
You gotta
Yes.
go Ray Allen.
Yes.
That's where it's at, man.
Jesus Shuttlesworth.
Kenji,
I like
what you
that.
thinking,
I
man?
like that.
I'm stuck. I really wanted to pick Ray Allen, but now that I think about it more, I think I'm taking Reggie Miller, man. And that shot he hit and did the choke hands to
Yeah.
was that a 3-pointer or was that a 2?
I
Anybody
can't
know?
remember. I know Spike Lee had to witness
Yeah,
that.
yeah, the Spike Lee
He still remembers that.
shot.
one.
It looked like a 3-pointer if I remember it correct. But either way, they both great clutch shooters. But I'll go Reggie since
I think
everybody
it was
picked
a
Ray
3.
Allen.
I think it was a 3.
I think it was, yeah.
Yeah, if I'm remembering correctly. I could be wrong on that.
Speaking of overrated,
God.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
right,
Somebody cut the mic off.
did you guys know that
That'd be
he
you,
is?
Kenji.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Did you know that Ray Allen never made an All-NBA second team in his entire career? I mean, Reggie Miller never made a All-NBA second team in his entire career.
Well,
that's actually true.
but right or wrong, is he one of the greatest shooters of all time?
That's fine.
That's fine.
Right.
That's
It's
that's a hell of a
facts
career.
is what it is.
Average 18, 3 and 3 for his entire career. Look it up. You guys won't do it, but it's true.
Oh, God.
But look at the era he played in, man. Like, come on.
I think they were scoring like total at 90 points.
Yeah.
Like, you know. Okay. Well, you're not giving it right now. I can tell. That's your take. And you've had that take. I've argued with that with you for a little bit here.
All right, I got one more for you
Oh,
guys.
wait, who'd you pick?
Oh, I'm taking Reggie.
Reggie? Okay.
Reggie Miller, yeah. I'm
great
taking
one.
Reggie Miller on that one. I got one more for you guys. I'm glad Lucas Klotz is in the chat for us right here. This is the first week without Lucas. We missed the hell out of you, man. But I also was able to find the highlight reel of Lucas, or should I say Klotz Island.
The ball knower.
Okay.
Look at that.
Okay. To the house.
Is that Jason Seahorn?
To the house, baby.
Cooper DeJean. Should we call him
Cooper
Cooper
DeJean.
Klotz or Lucas DeJean?
Man,
at
with
this
that
point?
J-Mo speed, too.
All right, here's again.
Yeah, that's Jason Seahorn. I don't give a damn who it is.
Look at it.
Oh!
Send him back to the sideline.
Jesus.
Look at the hit on that, man.
Send that.
That's a highlight tape, man.
That is a highlight mixtape right there. What are you guys thinking?
I think that's baby food. I mean, that's Gerber. Lucas Klotz treating those kids like babies. And also, I wanted to ask Lucas, what's the temperature today on Klotz Island? I heard it's nice over there. It's not a place that many people can travel to. There's no airplane travels there.
No fly zone.
No fly zone. That is true, Kenji. But Lucas Klotz, man, certified dog.
Broder with Lucas Ower, the way that he remember that scene in The Blind Side where he like blocked that guy all the way out. Like that was Lucas taking that guy.
Hey, you don't stop till the whistle blow.
Don't stop till the whistle blows.
Hey, by the way,
that was some speed, Lucas.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna see me, Lucas, one-on-one. I'll tell you that. I'll tell you that right now, Lucas.
I'm scared, man.
After seeing that,
calling the blood clot.
After seeing that highlight tape, I think Lucas would lock you down. I'm just saying. It's all good. Lock him up.
No, I'm kidding. No, he's a dog, man. He is. He's him. That's a good one, JB. Look at showing love to Klotz.
Does he? Is he like Google me to whoever like questions him? Like, oh, you should Google me. Like,
or he just sends them. He airdrops them his highlight tape.
Right.
He says, check your phone. Okay?
Right.
Oh, it's my highlight reel. Good stuff, JB. Appreciate you, man. Good stuff today. Let's go to break. Let's get to mailbag. Get your questions ready. Hoof Hearted says Lucas is already better than Will Harris.
Hey, slide him in. I'll take anything at this point.
Yeah, that's, you know what, Hoof Hearted, I'd take you out there. I truly would. All right, let's go to break. But first, we got to hear about our friends from Hamlin Pub. Let me talk to you about them. Have you ever wanted to be at a bar where you're known as a regular? We have just a place for you. You can join the Woodward Sports postgame show live at Hamlin Pub in Rochester on Tyken Road this Sunday. Stick Maz and more will be there to break down the game. We'll see you there live from Hamlin Pub. Experience your new favorite pub for all things sports.
Since the dawn of moving people, Chevrolet has led the way. The world of transportation is changing. At Feldman Chevrolet, we are leading the charge forward. With every electric vehicle, every mile traveled, one Feldman at a time. The company that puts more Chevys on Michigan roads is now the #1 name for Chevy electric vehicles.
Now, coming to Woodward Sports, Woodward and Main Street, the Woodward Sports Network Detroit Lions show. Let's go! Catch Gabrielle D. Phillips, Matt Broder, and Terry Foster for all the latest news on your Detroit Lions every week. Only on the Woodward Sports Network YouTube channel and woodwardsports.com.
Where's the most convenient place to get that big fitness energy?
It's Planet Fitness.
Join today for just $1 down, $10 a month. With over 2,400 locations and equipment for every workout, you can get in, get energized, and get going. And with free fitness training and most clubs open 24 hours, everyone belongs in the judgment-free zone. So join today for $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment, cancel anytime.
Join Woodward Sports and Long Drink live every home game for the official Lions VIP tailgate party. It's at Eastern Market and Shed number 5, and it is always a bash, starting at 9:30 a.m. until game time. The official Lions tailgate is back and better than ever. How would you like to pregame it with Woodward Sports and be treated like a VIP? Food, beverages, and entertainment all included. Get your tickets online today at bullseyeeventgroup.com or win some from Woodward Sports today. Just subscribe to our YouTube, follow us on IG, and direct message Lions VIP.
Let's get to it. It's mailbag time here on the Morning Woodward Show on Woodward Sports Network. People already chiming in. People reacting to the Lucas Klotz tape. Yeah, he's that dude. Mike G says, Lucas airdropped that highlight to everyone on his plane down to FL.
That's actually probably true.
Nick Williams says, FYI, Jeff, it's pronounced Tinkin. Oh, Tinkin Road. Okay. That is fair. Thank you for that, Nick. Appreciate it. Let's see. First question. Eduardo, mailbag. No one has mentioned the stunts that Chicago does on their D line. They killed us with that in Green Bay. Saw and executed it a lot better. Sorsdal gets beat on them every single time. Well, that's more of a statement, not a question. But you're right, Eduardo. And again, that's why I picked Sorsdal this week, man. And that's also on the offense. That's on Ben. That's on Hank Fraley. They got to be prepared for that. Now they should expect it at this point. Honolulu BS says, are Flannel's takes getting as bad as Easy's? Well, okay, real quick.
Damn.
I don't think either. I'm not going to say you or Easy have bad takes. I might disagree with them. But that was always the biggest thing that frustrated me because Neil started that thing with Easy, the bad take Easy thing. That is dumb. Yeah. And that is unfair to say that about anybody. Neil can disagree, but no, I will not say Flannel just spews out bad takes. because he was speaking facts today. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, I mean, me and Easy, we both.
Except for the
Reggie Miller
the cat
tape
stuff.
Oh,
the
yeah.
last 30 minutes. Maybe not. But before that,
you went
Sam,
off the rails a little bit.
I mean, that's your guys' opinion.
That is true.
That's
That is
your
my
guys'
opinion.
But yeah, me and Easy, like he's my guy. Like we both take our craft as seriously as anybody that I personally know, and as does Jeff Iafrate, as does Kool-Aid, JB, Kenji. At least from what I know so far about you, Kenji, you seem like a good one so far. So we're all just doing our best, and we will not allow ourselves to be propagandized. I'll just say that.
Yeah, of course we all have bad takes. I mean,
Yes.
we do this for a living. You're bound to have some bad takes at some point, but we just disagree. It is what it is. This comment. Don Beats says, who's more likely to have a TD on Sunday, Sam's Cat Milo or EQ St. Brown? Well, I would say Milo probably going to get more playing time. So I'm gonna go Milo scores a TD. All right, it's your cat, Orange Cat Milo.
Imagine having a brother that is that much better than you. I get it. EQ and Amon-Ra are both NFL players, and that's phenomenal.
And he's
sure.
more physically gifted. Like
Yeah.
he's 6'5".
I know.
It's weird.
Yeah, I can't imagine it because EQ. What does he have? 4 catches for 40 yards or something like that this year. Yikes. Let's see. Bronco 81 mailbag out of the box thought Lions won't fire AG for the chance he is hired as a head coach, and they want the 3rd round pick as a result. I'll say this. The whole AG to be a head coach, although I would support him 100%, I've already kind of made this clear. I think they do AG dirty, just bringing him in for an interview. Like, a lot of these head coaching gigs they bring him in for, they'll bring him in, interview him, and then boom, the next day they hire somebody else. I would assume, I think AG's qualified to be head coach. I just don't know the likelihood of it. I would not say that Dan would, or Brad, or whoever's in charge of making those decisions, it would be Dan, would keep him just for a 3rd round pick, but I don't think it's a crazy thought. I mean, hey, you're going to get a 3rd round pick out of it, but I don't think that's the reason they won't fire him. Well,
if he's bad, they're going to fire him.
And we all know early on today, I actually defended Aaron Glenn quite a lot. But if I'm an NFL team, and this is no disrespect to Aaron Glenn, I wouldn't hire him as a coach. If I'm going to hire a defensive coach, I would want a defensive coordinator that was an architect of an elite defense, at least for maybe a year or two. And it's not all Aaron Glenn's fault, but especially right now, I personally would favor an offensive coach. And Aaron Glenn just does not qualify, especially when you've got a Ben Johnson who is on your same coaching staff who is much, much better at his position than Aaron Glenn is at his.
All right, there you go. This question here. Roger says Neil has plenty of bad takes too. Hey, you said it, Roger,
That's
not
facts.
me. All right, and there's some truth to that, definitely. Let's see. Dante151 mailbag. Have you guys ever watched NFL meeting video by Annie Agger? If not, then you need to give it a watch because she is funny. Yeah, I've seen some of her content. I have not seen the NFL meeting video. Have you guys catch that?
Yeah, I've caught a couple of her videos.
Is it funny?
They're really funny.
Yeah,
they are.
She puts a lot of time and work into all of them.
Yeah,
so I got to give her credit.
Eduardo mailbag. Who calls a better game, AG or BJ? Well, I think if you're going to go with historically, it's going to be Ben Johnson. Yeah, I'll go Ben. I think that's the probably easy answer. I think the offense, they have to call a good game to win this week. Absolutely. Bronco 81, more wins on the season, Pistons or Lions? I would hope it's the Pistons.
Right?
I would hope. I mean, the Lions win 13 games.
280, baby.
We was talking about it yesterday. Their lowest is 16, and I was asking the question, like, will they eclipse 16 wins this season? A lot of y'all think yes.
Yeah.
It's tough.
I think they'll get there, man. As they just get a little bit more healthy, they'll at least get there.
And Booner said the fact that we have to think about that is insane. Yeah, the fact that that's even like that's terrible. That is terrible. Let's see. Who far the Pistons will find something at some point this season. It's early. Hopefully. I do. I hope.
Is it still early, though? It's getting a little bit more. I mean, I know it's early, but
we're closer and closer to the All-Star break, Sam.
Y'all, seriously, like, they need to start evaluating for a trade deadline at this point because, it's not looking good for December.
Mailbag over under 3.5 sacks for Big Bruce. Brandon asks, wow, 3.5 sacks for the season. He's at 1, so he needs 3 more in 5 games. I'll say under. If he goes over.
He did have 3.5 last year as a Seahawk. So just putting that out there.
That was in like more games than he has the ability to play this year. So
yeah,
that's probably true. I do think, and I'm going to keep this a random take, but I'm just going to say it. I think Bruce Irvin gets a sack in the Lions playoff game.
Ooh,
nice.
I think he gets a sack in the playoff game at home. Let's see. One more question, and we'll get out of here now. If there's one more. Jesse Adams says, mailbag, what's more sad, Jim's bowl record, 2-8, or Asar Thompson's shooting percentage is way worse than Alex DeBrinket's shooting percentage? 11% for Thompson, DeBrinket 16%. I got nothing. You're talking about from 3, clearly. Yeah, I mean, we kind of knew Asar needed to work on his shot. That was very clear. I mean, coming in, it's something that needs to be developed. But the fact that DeBrinket's shooting a higher percentage, yeah, it's not great. But is it what's worse, that or Jim's bowl record? I mean, the dude's made the. You answer. You give your take on the whole Jim stuff, Sam. The 2-8 record.
I don't care so much about bowl games. If Michigan goes one and done in the playoffs again, then yeah, I'll be very, very upset about it. And there will have to be some questions about Jim Harbaugh's preparation and all of that, and also it's not even just Jim Harbaugh. Michigan systemically as a program has typically not done as well in bowl games as maybe we would have thought. I mean, Bo Schembechler was 2-8. I mean, they lost a couple of Rose Bowls in the 2000s. They lost, I believe, 1 or maybe even 2. I believe they lost 2 in a row when Braylon was there. They lost 1 in 2006. It's just kind of what they do, and that needs to change. So I don't think it's as much of a Jim Harbaugh problem as it is a systemic Michigan problem.
Brian Ruth says, why are we activating Kendall Vildor, not Gilmore? Yeah, guys, I wouldn't know. The coaching staff would clearly know better than me, because I'm with you guys. I like Stephen Gilmore a lot. I think he needs to get more runway, but we don't know how he looks in practice. I don't know if Stephen, there's things Kendall Vildor has been doing. He's been around a little longer than Stephen, that maybe he does well, or he gets certain things that Stephen doesn't. But I would love to see Stephen out there, man. He had an interception in the preseason. I was at that game.
Yeah, he did well in the preseason.
Yeah, I think so. But again, do they want to throw him out in a 9-3 season where a lot of pressure's on the line? Maybe not. But Stephen, man, he's got to put on more weight, like Elgato said. And
our Lions insider is chiming in.
Broder says, Gilmore not strong enough, will be contributor next year. There you go. Broder, the man, the myth, the legend. Appreciate you, Broder. All right, we'll get out of here. Appreciate you guys. Have a great weekend. Don't forget, rest of the shows here on Woodward Sports Network, Big D Energy, Ermanni Edwards with Maz, Heavyweights, and of course, close your night out with the Woodward Knights crew, which, hopefully I'm going to see with Booner. I don't think I'm doing anything tonight, so maybe I can hop on and talk to the boys tonight on Woodward Knights.
Let's go.
But by the way, check out also other things. Woodward Pistons, Kool-Aid does a great job at. Him and Rod crush it. If you want Pistons content, maybe some answers to some questions that you're not able to get, go to Woodward Pistons, man. They'll break it all down for you. Until Monday, have a great weekend, everybody. We'll catch you, and God bless.